Mic test 1 2, mic test 1 2.
Over 25 minutes to kick off. Let's have a look at the way around. Two teams line up. Starting off with our visitors, Hull City in goal for the Tigers. Number 1, over Panda. Where number 2, captain is Louis Coyle. 3, Ron Giles. 5, Jim Armstrong. And number 6 is Shemia Jay. 7, Liam Miller. Number 8 is Elliot Matazo. 9, Oliver Burley. 15, John Egan. 21 is John Gelbart. 25, Matt Cruz. Okay, moving on to your home side. Let's see how the Addicts line up this afternoon. In goal, number 1, Thomas Kaminski. Number 3, Macaulay Gillespie. At 5, Roy Jones. 10, and the skipper, Greg Doherty. 14, Sonny Carey. Wearing number 15, Colin Mulvey. At 23, Charlie Kelman. Wearing 28, it's Colin Sichenye. 41, Harvey Hicks. At 24, Harry Clark.
Well, hopefully we finally got there on Charlton TV. A very good afternoon and welcome to Charlton TV ahead of today's clash between Charlton and Hull, and what's going to be, you imagine, a crucial match here in SE7 for either one of these two sides, potentially both. Let's wait and see. But Charlton themselves, of course, knowing a point will be enough to guarantee us playing in the Championship next season. Hull themselves chasing a playoff spot. It's going to be an exciting, nervy, but hopefully a good day here in SE7. Gorgeous weather, and you're very welcome wherever you are around the world, listening or watching. We hope you enjoy this afternoon, and we hope that you can enjoy the sunshine as well wherever you are across the world. I'm not joined by my colleagues Mr. Brown and Mr. Smith at present. They're just doing their final duties in the lounges. So pretty much here we'll bring you Nathan Jones, who spoke to Charlton TV ahead of today's match.
Nathan, back at the training grounds, how's the mood been within the group over the last couple of days?
Yeah, look, it's always a big group. It's a good group. They enjoy training with each other. They enjoy being around each other. So, yeah, look, it's a tough night the other night in terms of everything we knew it was going to be a tough game. The margins were so small as they are in a championship football. But look, we know the job in hand, and we're back at it.
You're right. There was obviously a few players that got injured in the game. You're right to just talk us through those. Maybe starting with Tyrese Campbell, just if there's any latest on him.
Well, look, it's going to be touch and go on them because, as I said, they all had to come off because of injury. But there was, we were worried about Matty Gordon, but that was positive. So that's probably the only thing I can say really. And then the others are all touch and go, and we have to make decisions on them late ones.
You made 8 changes for the fixture. With the quick turnaround, can we expect more changes again ahead of Saturday?
Well, look, we have to pick a game that's a team that can go again, that can be tactically good, but can also be physically, physically potent, because we know that. We made those changes. There's a couple of were enforced, so we said 8, but probably 3/4 were enforced. So look, we were able to freshen it up, and as I said, hopefully if we do make changes, then the whole squad will be ready to go.
Big game on Saturday against the whole side chasing playoff place. What can we expect from them?
A really positive side, well coached, got some really good individuals. They've been at it a few years, got to the playoffs last year, just missed out I think on the playoffs last year. But we're in that top 8, top 7 close to the top 6 and now doing exactly the same. They've had time to build, they've recruited well, so a really, really difficult side to come up against. But as we said, you know, we say that every week in the Championship, and it's just about us. We have to be the best versions of ourselves, and that's all I can ask for.
A lot of our team were involved in big games for the club here at the end of last season. How will that help preparations for this weekend?
Well, look, the most recent ones, obviously, yeah. With the people who were here last year, we had some big games, and you know, 3 big ones at the end of the year, and also 2 special ones. But you know, we have a squad full of players that have even been promoted or played at the highest level, and things, or won promotion. That's why they're here. You know, if you look at anyone that's come from Luton, for example, they've been involved in big games. Connor Cody's been involved in the very biggest games, Premier League and international football. So there's good experience, and I don't expect that to affect us adversely in any way.
It's one point we need to guarantee Championship survival. What impact does that have on how we prepare for Saturday?
Oh, it doesn't. You prepare in the same way, you know. And at the end of the game, if 2 teams are deadlocked, then fine. You know, we'll take that. But we want to win the game.
Your message to supporters went out last night, and the fans have responded with a jump in ticket sales. They've made a real difference in crunch games in the past, haven't they?
Yeah, look, and we know that we've said it since we came in, and you know, we were playing in League One there and trying to stay in League One the first sort of 3-4 months I came here. We asked them to back and to get on board early. They did, and you know, we increased the crowds last year. We had a big jump in crowds, and they got behind everything, and that culminated in a wonderful finish at Wembley. And we've asked them to do the same again. You know, we've I'm not saying broken records, but we've you know, really added to the average crowd. We've had 20 plus at so many home games, which has shown that we're back on the levels that we want to be. And then all those who have been involved right from the start, you know, really get behind us, because we've got one more home game to do something, you know, really special.
Saturday's game is also Upbeats Day, which is something really core to the Charlton community, isn't it?
It is, and they, you know, hopefully they get the weather that they need. But yeah, look, they're so important to the football club and what they do, and it's just another facet of this wonderful football club that we can celebrate, that we can enjoy, but that just demonstrates how good a football club we are.
Well, there you are. There was Nathan Jones talking to Charlton TV during the week. Well, I say during the week, of course, it's a couple of days ago. It doesn't feel that long since we were last here. Of course, Wednesday night was a disappointing night, but the performance, certainly first half, was a bit more encouraging. And Nathan will know, as well as his Charlton side, that anything less than a point here today would just cause a lot of nerves going into that final game of the season against Swansea. So let's hope we can do it here today, and we'll go through the sides as per usual a little bit closer to kick-off, and you'll be joined by Steve Brown in due course. But before we get to Brownie, Greg Doherty, who was goal scorer on Wednesday, and I thought one of the best players on the pitch, if not the best player on the pitch, spoke to Charlton TV as well to get his thoughts ahead of today's clash against his former side.
Greg, looking back on Wednesday, it was a hard-fought game decided by very fine margins. What were your key takeaways for you and the team?
Yeah, we put a lot into it. You know, it was, of course, again, you're disappointed you didn't get anything from it, but yeah, there's plenty to take from it. And I think it's a good thing this game's coming around so quickly now, and it's at home, early kick-off. I think it's one we can really look forward to. And
how are you feeling physically? You got on the score sheet, obviously. You didn't stop running for the entire game.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, nice to score. I've been due one, but I liked it obviously if it meant a bit more in terms of the final scoreline. But yeah, I feel fine. You know, like I said, the game's coming around the corner. We've not got much time to think about it. So yeah, it's just a case of rest as best we can. We've had a good couple of days training since the game, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. And as a captain, is that level of desire and energy the standard we'll need to get us over the line? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think we've got a team that always gives everything. You know, that's part of my game that I'll always do. But I believe, and it's shown across the team as well, and with the way the manager is as well. We've got a team that gives everything, and we will. And tomorrow we'll have to do that again. We're coming up against a good team that they've got their own ambitions this season. So you know, under no illusions of how difficult it will be. They've got a lot of good attacking players, but we'll have to be at our best. But to be fair, I think when you do win in this league, you have to be at your best anyway. So no, it's just a game we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, and like you said, and you're up against your former club on Saturday. What are you expecting from them? And you're looking forward to seeing some familiar faces as well?
Yeah, it'll be nice, obviously, but I'll be parking all my previous emotions with the club. That's for sure. You know, I'm here now, and my full focus is here. But yeah, for us, I think I'm expecting expecting a team that they attack really well. They're very strong. They score a lot of goals, but hopefully we can counteract that as well. But we're a strong unit defensively, and I think we showed the other night as well. Like we're getting back to where we need to be, and what gets us good results. And you know, the way we prepared going into the game, I'm sure we can go and get the result.
And you saw the manager's message to the fans yesterday. They seem to be responding. It's shaping up to be another bumper crowd at the Valley. What would your message be to them ahead of Saturday?
Thank you. Like honestly, they always back us. They always turn up. They're always there, and you always hear them. And it's a club that is followed everywhere. And I've started to notice it more this year with the crowds and just going around the place. And obviously, I don't specifically live in Charlton, but being around the area and stuff like that, I speak to a lot more fans, and it's nice. And tomorrow with the early kick-off, it's got the makings of being a great day. So hopefully we can go and deliver the performance that they deserve, and we can all have a nice celebration after the game.
But there's the captain, Greg Doherty, speaking to Charlton TV during the week. A brilliant performance. Certainly someone who can hold his head up high after that performance. He was everywhere for Charlton. Of course, scored the goal in the opening 60 seconds as well. And someone who'll be desperate for Charlton to get over the line for next season. And yeah, facing his former side Hull, who he played a part in their promotion campaign from League One a few years ago. You might recall during the COVID era, we beat Hull on the final day of the season 1-0. Greg Doherty was in the Hull midfield that day, as were a couple of players lining up for Hull, or certainly in the squad for Hull this afternoon. And I'm delighted to say, fresh from eating all the food down in the lounges.
No. Fresh from lots of talking to lots of people from there to here.
Networking.
Yes. Well, no, getting stopped by people who are curious. Nothing to do with eating.
Curious what you're alive, or curious that...
Yeah. I mean, lots of curiosity that perhaps should stay between me and that person.
Okay, fine. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, cheers, Greg.
Good. Yeah, we're actually in cheerful spirit, which
yes.
I know a lot of speaking to a lot of fans pre-match. There's a lot of nerves going around, but I feel quite optimistic about today, and I'm not sure why that is, but certainly I think maybe looking at Hull's form has given me a little bit of optimism. They have struggled as well as us for results, and that's, I mean, you could tell by the league table the fact they're not in the playoffs now, and for a large part of the season they seem to just be in there in that top 6 places. So today, something to play for both sides. It's really tough to call.
Yeah, I mean, I think they find a Charlton side here at the Valley that's also having its own issues. I think that's fair to say. You know, I think we've 3 points from the last 21, and today, sadly, if we lost today, that would be 5 straight losses at home. And I got told, I think, earlier that hasn't happened since 1990. So, you know, we want a result for many, many reasons. But, you know, right now you'd absolutely take the point that guarantees survival and championship football next season. But, yeah, look, I think you have to put all previous results behind you, and you have to dig deep and find a bit of courage and a bit of bravery. And we've got to take a few risks today to get on that front foot and start to dictate to opponents. You know, if you look at, you know, we played a very, very good side on Wednesday night, and even they had their pressures. You just felt, you looked down at that Ipswich side, and that was a team playing under a bit of pressure. If you think about their home performance, they looked a lot more at ease at Portman Road and played a little bit more football than they did the other night. They still played some decent stuff, but I don't think they were at their best by any stretch of the imagination. But that second half, we just tailed off, and we just need something a bit more akin to the first 45 than we do the second 45. We went a little bit long. We became a little bit predictable. And I'm speaking to a very, very good central midfielder after the game who said we're just bypassing midfield completely, and all they're doing is running and tackling. And we've got to try and utilise that midfield a little bit more than we did, or if not, pick up the knockdowns. You know, let's not try and receive off the back four if they're not going to give it you, and actually just pick up the knockdowns from the front two and try and play in the opponent's half a bit more than we did. But we didn't manage a single shot on or off So something a bit more like the first half, where we tried to turn the opposition back line around and we pressurised high and we pressurised quick. I thought we caused Ipswich a few issues in that first 20 minutes. It obviously started with that turnover and that conversion, which gave us that lead after 43 seconds. But even then, I thought we had moments in the first half where we were a little bit more creative, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, definitely. And I think probably the reason I was most disappointed with Wednesday actually wasn't, let's say, the performance. I thought, especially for the first half, I thought we competed really well. And there's no lack of fight. I didn't see players bottle challenges or anything like that second half. But when we did come away and then we looked, I never like looking at stats 24/7, but when you came away from Wednesday and saw that we didn't have a single shot in the second half, I mean, one, that's credit to Ipswich for their defending, but two, that's a sign of, it doesn't need me to say, it's a sign of what needs to improve next season, regardless of what division Charlton find themselves in. But if it is the Championship, then that's where that investment has to go. How do we score more goals?
We get Matty Godden fit for a start, because even coming off the bench, I mean, look, he's had his issues. I spoke with Matty this week privately, because I wanted to check up on him, because I've been there. I've had a season where I didn't kick a ball, and it's heartbreaking, and to see him limping around on one leg. And I said, why on earth didn't you come off? And he just said, because I just thought I could just poke a ball from 4 yards out into the back of the net and get a point that we needed. And I get that. But I've also been there where I've stayed on with ligament damage and I made it twice as bad. So I've been in that boat as well. And I just feared for him because of the injury problems he's had this year. But it looks like and sounds like it's not as bad as we feared straight after the game. So I think there's good news surrounding that particular situation. But yeah, I mean, we are, I think, second lowest scorers behind Sheffield Wednesday, which is problematic. And is it strikers? Is it style of play? Is it how we play? Is it the formation we use? That's all got to be determined over the summer, Greg. There's an awful amount of conversations that are going to have to take place regarding recruitment, regarding, do we go with a back three again? Are we going to change the formation and the system next season? How are we going to recruit? What have we lined up to be recruited? Honestly, it's not just as simple as saying we need to get 2 strikers in. Yeah. It's a lot more complex than that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if we certainly had all the answers, we wouldn't be sat here right now, that's for sure. And I mean, one of the positives that you take from Wednesday was that start. The first 40 minutes. Okay, if you want to be a bit more selective, the first 20 minutes or so, where it just seemed a bit more like a freshness, a determination, a belief that Charlton were going to come away with something. We got the early goal, but there was a real tempo to how we started. Do you think that today that the start is going to be as crucial as on Wednesday? Can we get that first goal? What difference can that make for this crowd that we expect to be around the 20,000 mark again this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to start bright. That's the one thing you can control as you start, and you can get the tempo right. But once the game settles into a pattern, and there are things happen out on the pitch inside the framework of a performance where you kind of know that their system or their style or their individuals are better than yours, and that leads to you either being on the front foot or the back foot. And when you're on the back foot, you've got to defend, as we have done, actually. The clean sheets will tell you that we can defend our box. The problem with us when we defend our box is we go long from that, we don't retain possession, and we get stuck in our own half. And it's counter-attacks and long throw-ins and set pieces that are our salvation in terms of getting a result. But what I would say is you can start quick, you can start high up the pitch, because you are starting from a base where you're both extremely athletic and fit at the start of a 90-minute game. It's possession that then dictates after that, and it's what you do with that possession that then dictates how the opposition react. And it's that period from 50 minutes to, say, 35 that we've got to really start controlling games, which we tend not to do. Beyond that, I agree with you, actually. This is not a case of no fight, no spirit. I'm seeing fight, I'm seeing spirit. I'm just seeing we just lack in converting chances. We lack, we needed a second goal for sure the other night, and that statistic as well is killing us. 1 goal here in the last, 17 straight games here that we've only scored 1 goal. And it's a real issue for us. but you can still start with a tempo, you can turn sides round, you can pressurise. I thought we pressurised really well in the first 15 minutes on Wednesday night, but it did go once the game settled down, and Ipswich was still determined to play through the lines, spread across the pitch. They had width, they had depth, and they were brave in possession. I think that's one thing I'll probably criticise us for, is we're either low tempo across the back and it's 5 passes going nowhere, and we don't then link up through midfield, we go long. And my thing is always, if you've got a style and you're going to go long, play to the long ball. Back it up with that midfield 5, get the 2 wing backs a bit higher, get the midfield 3. Don't even look for a ball off the back line if you're going to do that. If you're going to go long, let's not set up to receive short and go long, because you're just going to lose possession the majority of the times. But look, we're still very much in control of our own destiny here. We've got 2 bites at the cherry to get a single point, and I think today offers us a great opportunity to do that.
Well, I'll hand you over to Terry Smith shortly, but one final question from me. One player that is starting for Charlton today is Harvey Knibbs. Now, we've not seen much of Harvey, mainly due to injury and the form, certainly the early season form of Sonny Carey. He's a player that can pop up with a goal. In the short space of time that he has been with the club and had the minutes, he has popped up with a goal. Of course, Watford, the first game of the season here, is probably the best example of that. And maybe that's a sign of Nathan Jones looking for that almost equivalent. Obviously, he's not a striker, but equivalent of a Matty Godden, somebody who's in those sort of areas to pick a goal.
Yeah, I think I've already said it, but we really struggle across the pitch for goal scorers. Sonny Carey's got 8. Behind that is Kelman with 6. And then you've got a handful of people on 4s and 3s and 2s. So we're not prolific across the pitch. And I just think there's a couple of things with Knibbs. You know, if you're Hull City working on how you stop Charlton today and how you get on top, Knibbs probably wouldn't have been in the equation. They wouldn't have worked to stop Knibbs. So there's that element to him. It's a surprise player in a position that they might not have worked on. They would have worked on maybe Carey in the 10. They might have 2 10s to deal with now, which they probably wouldn't have worked on. So we'll see how we set up, we see how that works. He might drop Carey back into a slightly more defensive role, bursting from deeper areas. He likes to do that sometimes. The one thing Sonny Carey can do is run 10, 15 yards with a ball. And that's one thing that, if you're going to play deep, if you're going to go long, you're not going to get the knockdowns like I've said. But if you've got a player that you can fire a ball into, who can turn and run 15, 20 yards of it, that's as good as going long and winning a knockdown, because you're relieving the pressure and retaining possession. He might be looking at that as a scenario for Sonny Carey. But we'll see how they line up when we start. But Knibbs can sniff out a goal. That's the one thing I think he has shown in the brief appearances that we have seen, is that he does arrive well inside the penalty box at set pieces. He just seems to arrive at the right time and get a tap in from close range. And what we'd give for one of those.
Absolutely, yes, Brownie, and thanks to Greg. We are minutes away from kick-off. The sun is shining. The winter coats have been put away. It's a lovely afternoon for football. Can the Addicts respond with that vital point? How's your nerves, everyone? And Brownie's just eloquently said what the possibilities are for the lineup. I think there could be a couple of possibilities also. We'll only know, obviously, when the teams come out on the pitch exactly what happens. But it's what we don't want to do, I guess, going into the last game, because we've had it before. Brownie is going in hoping that somebody else does us a favour. We need to do it ourselves. Yeah,
I've just said that. Yeah, we've got the destiny is still in our hands. You pick up a point today, everything else is irrelevant. You pick up a point against Swansea, you pick up a win even in either game, and the scenario's dead elsewhere. You know, they've got to win today at Oxford. I'm not even sure I fancy them to do that, to be brutally frank, but we can take care of business ourselves, and that's what we've got to concentrate on today. Forget anything anywhere else. Can we get 3 points? If we can't get the 3, can we get the 1? And then it doesn't matter. We can all have a good old drink after the game and look forward to next season as a Championship club.
Absolutely, and as the two sides head towards the halfway line, I shall read you out the sides, starting with our visitors, Hull City. In goal for them, number 1, Ivor Pandur. 2, the captain, Louis Coyle. 3, Ryan Giles. 5, John Lundstrom. 6, Semi Ajayi. 7, Liam Miller. 8, Elliot Matazzo. 9, Ollie McBurney. 15, John Egan. 21, Joe Gelhart. And 25, Matt Crooks. Your subs for Charlton, for Hull City rather. Dylan Phillips, Charlie Hughes, Mohamed Baloumi, Kyle Joseph, Akin Femwo, Kieran Dowell, Reagan Slater, Lewis Kumas and Paddy McNair. The Charlton side will line up with in goal, number 1, Thomas Kaminski. 3, Macaulay Gillespie. 5, Lloyd Jones. 10, the captain, Greg Doherty. 14, Sonny Carey. 15, Connor Cody. 23, Charlie Kelman. 28, Colin Sinchenje. 41, Harvey Nibbs. 44, Harry Clark. And 77, Jaden Fevrier. Your subs for Charlton: Will Mannion, Connor Coventry, Therese Campbell, Luke Berry, Miles Leeburn, Luke Chambers, Joe Rankin Costello, Reece Burke and Lyndon Dykes. Your referee for this afternoon is Tom Neild. He'll be assisted by George Byrne and Sam Lewis. And your fourth official is Gavin Ward. And as the two sides drift excuse me, to either end, just to mention for the upbeats walk, Greg may have already done that by the way, but we saw Mortz and Simon Webbo doing the walk with the upbeats and raising money for that incredible programme, the upbeats programme, and they did that walk this morning, 9 miles. One day I did it, I'm not sure I could now.
Well, I used to use my knees as a reason I couldn't, and I've had 2 knee replacements, so I probably could just about do 9 miles these days. I can, as my wife would say, I can get around the golf course no problem. Well,
so you need to just hit a golf ball as you walk with them.
Yeah, trolley and clubs.
That's the key. So we are countdown to kick-off in what is a vital game here at the Valley. 20,000 plus. The covered end looks lovely and full. The obviously stand about 2/3 full. Jimmy Seed stand, the whole fans have come down in numbers. That's full as well. So we're liable for a good atmosphere here this afternoon. Of course, we've got a couple of returnees. Dylan Phillips on the bench for Hull City. That's their spare goalkeeper. And of course, so Mr. Dean Holden, who will actually be on the sideline today because Jakarovic didn't get suspended. I thought he had a red card, didn't he? No? Okay. They waved it away, so Jakarovic is down now. But Dean Holden is here as assistant as well, and top fella Dean. And after today, I wish him all the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nothing but nice things to say about Dean Holden from my experiences with him. I thought he was a little bit unlucky, if I'm honest with you. We've had a private chat about what I thought he could have maybe done slightly differently, but in a nice way. But yeah, we wish him all the best, just not today.
Not today. I spoke to his good lady in the Vista Lounge on the way out and just said, look, can we both settle for a point and then you can do it after? She went, no.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no. Tell you should know better.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine if they said that to you.
I was hoping the news would filter down, but it's not going to happen. So we are getting ready for kick-off. The Addicts obviously traditional red shirts, white shorts, red and white socks. Hull City in the change strip of mostly black shirts, black shorts and black socks, but with the gold trim in stripes down the lines. As it'll be Hull City to get us underway, attacking the covered end in the first half. Thought I meant my sunglasses today, but unfortunately it's disappeared behind the West End. So we're all good to go. There's a change of taker of the start, and we are underway here at the Valley. As the ball goes back to Pandur, sends it forward, headed away by Nibbs. Yeah, Hull City throw on their left-hand side. Giles with it. Down the line it goes. Sinchenje trying to outmuscle his man. It goes beyond him. Clark gets something on it, and Jones scuffs his clearance, but it runs to Cody, who completes the clearance up towards Kelman. It's being climbed all over by Egan, who gives away a throw-in. Clark will come forward to take it. Missed last game against Ipswich, of course. Charlton will need him to be on fire this afternoon. It's his throw. Down the line, looking for Kelman. Can't get there, but he gets the second touch. And then it comes off of Giles and away for another Charlton throw, this time much closer to the corner of the penalty area, in line with it. And so Charlton are sending Jones and Sinchenje and Gillespie all forward. Doherty just hanging back for that cover from this long throw that's going to come in, and we sort of missed the accuracy of him and the long throw on Wednesday. Can he bring that back in the opening minutes here? Clark with the throw, fizzed in. Jones comes for it, headed clear. Clark comes to meet it again. Little touch back to Doherty. He's got Fevrier to his left, but was being pressured, so it goes back to Kaminski, who sends it back forward. Good header from Clark, almost finding Kelman. Cleared away, but Clark will pick it up again, headed inside, but he can't find Cody, and Hull will look to escape down his left-hand side. And they have done so, and Miller on the run, and Shinchenje took him out and gets a booking very early on.
Yeah, clear cutter. Just got to back off on that one, try and track the runner. At the early stages, I'm looking at the positions of Nibs and Carey, and it looks like a box midfield. Those two will have to get up and support Kelman very, very quickly as the lone striker, and we've got to be very, very accurate and careful with our service to Kelman. Anything put up there in the air, he's going to get beaten comfortably. So it's either in behind the centre halves or into feet, give him something he can deal with. And we certainly don't want to be giving too many of these free kicks away.
It'll be Giles with it from the left-hand side. Fevrier, the lone wall in front. Everybody else, bar Coyle, in and around the Charlton penalty area. Swung in deep. Kaminski can come and claim, and he does.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, Giles is the one that has an incredibly good left foot.
Quick roll out to Carey, who's on a move down the left-hand side for Charlton. Back inside to Cody, and he's put too much on it. Gillespie bails him out. It's a ball across to Jones. Chenjo now. Little touch forward to Doherty, swings it forward, asking Nibs to chase it. Nibs will get there as well. Little ball forward, asking Kelman. Kelman, little header left. Touch from Carey into the feet of Fevrier, or almost anyway, taken off his toes, but Charlton still have it. Left-hand side, Fevrier beats his man. Back to Carey. Carey looks to shoot, does so, takes the deflection away for the corner. Hull City have a man down on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, and those are the areas I think we're going to try and exploit off of Kelman. If we go long, I think it's going to be fruitless, but if we can get and find Nibs and Carey in those spaces off of that back line, we're going to have moments like that. I thought the ball through from Nibs was a mistake. I thought he could have driven with it, but as it turns out, it did lead to something inside the penalty area where Jai come across and made a brilliant challenge.
Just trying to look, see who's down. It might be Matazzo.
Yeah, well, that's no one touched him, by the way. He's gone down with. I mean, that normally means you've
twist?
Jolted a ligament or something as you plant your foot. He just jumped in the air and went to ground. Normally means it's something a little bit more serious. There was no physical contact on him at all.
He's certainly in trouble. Prone on the ground at the minute, right on the edge of the penalty area, just left of the D as we look. In front of the Hull City fans, and if it is a twist that's keeping him down there, he might struggle to recover from that. Matazzo's didn't play in the last game. He's in here with Balumi on the bench, so there is a straight swap if he does have to come off. So certainly looks in a bit of pain down there. Still working on Matazzo, and it's been a feature of Charlton games, these lengthy spells of injuries. Charlton, of course, had far too many on Wednesday night. Matazzo's up though, and actually not walking too badly, so he might be all right.
Yeah, that is unusual, because normally when you see a player pull up like that and there's no one around him and he plants his leg into the ground and collapses, it normally isn't good news. But look, I'm pleased for him. You don't want to see any player in any team go down like that and suffer a poor injury.
Might end up being a delayed reaction, but we'll see with Matazzo, who's on the sideline as Charlton prepared to take this corner in front of the scoreboard. Corner comes in. And it's a disappointing one. It goes straight behind the goal from Fevrier. That's a waste.
Well, it's not the easiest delivery either. So when you're a left footer and you're being asked to drive a ball as close to the goal mouth as you can, you've only got to get that slightly wrong, and the result is that. It's not. I think people go, "Oh, how's he done?" It's not the easiest delivery for a left footer.
Well, Matazzo's still doing his limbering up on the sideline, so he's not come immediately back on, although the referee is waving him, but he's not doing it yet. It's goal kick. Drops Cody's way, goes left looking for Fevrier, and he's in space. Fevrier on the left-hand side. Fevrier just checks back, finds Doherty. Doherty inside to Cody. Little touch back to Gillespie. He's got Jones in the centre. Now Matazzo, Matazzo, yeah, it's back on. There's Cody. Finds Gillespie behind him. Jones across to his right-hand side. Cody's further right. Chinze's asking for it, but he goes long, Cody, looking for the run of Kelman. Intercepted by Egan, but it will be a Charlton throw, and again, Clark will come forward to take it. Quickly taken back to Shinchenja. Fizzed across to Doherty, but he does well to control it. Has to give it back to Gillespie, who's going to send this forward, cross field. Clark the target, headed away by Giles. And in the centre there is Lundstrom to clear it away. Jones wins the header. A touch left by Cody to Shinchenja, who lost flight of the ball, and it's picked up by Miller. Backwards to Lundstrom. Across to the right-hand side is Coyle. Carey pursuing him as Coyle brings it forward. Matazzo now back on the pitch. Goes across to Egan. Egan's got Giles pressured by Nibbs. Has to go backwards. Good pressure from Harvey Nibbs. Back to Pandur. Launches it down the middle, looking for Gelhard. Gillespie will jump, gets his head there. Fevrier down the line for Carey. He's just a little bit ahead of him. That's allowed Ajayi to step in, but his ball goes straight to Fevrier. Doherty rides one challenge. Skipper Greg Doherty across to Clark. Inside to Cody. He's got Gillespie out to his left. Shinchenja close by. And Shinchenja will bring it forward. Burst ball to Doherty. He's put him in a little bit of trouble, but he's managed to get it back to Cody. Across to Gillespie now to the left. Fevrier out further left. Inside is Cody. No, Carey rather. Carey caught in possession, but fouled in the process. Be a free kick to Charlton just inside the Charlton on the left, and Matazzo's gone down again. It did look like it was he was struggling on the sideline, limbering up, and I think I'll be surprised at least if Matazzo can carry on. Shades of Matty Godden on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and like I said, when you go down with no physical presence from the opposition, it normally means something's given away on you, and it looks like Matazzo will have to come off. But we had a couple of moments in that build-up play there, Terry, where we should have gone forward. We took it, nice ball, good touch off the back foot, and then we turned backwards and went back, to into our back line. And I'd just love to see us just a little first-time ball round the corner sometimes into Kelman's feet or Nibbs' feet or Carey if he's advanced, rather than take a touch backwards towards goal. We do tend to be a little bit safe, but it's nice to see us. It's nice to see Shinchenja breaking out from that right-sided centre-half position. I don't think we do that enough. I think we could break out either side of Jones in good possession and ask questions of somebody in the midfield of Hull. Do they break formation and come and pressurise the ball? So it's nice to see Shinchenja break out, play forward through the lines, but again from that we went backwards, and it's just that next phase. Once he plays through the lines into midfield, can we get ourselves in a position where we're on the back foot and playing forward again?
Well, Matazzo's gone off, and I don't think he'll play any further part in the game. He's sitting in front of the Kerbisey stand looking fairly forlorn as Kaminsky prepares to take this free kick in towards the penalty area. Shinchenja can't get them, but Burnley heads it away. It dropped to Clark, who looked like a high foot in front of him as he made contact, but he gets it out to Gillespie, who's coming back from an offside position. It'll be a free kick to Hull City as we look, see how quickly Hull will make this change, and they're doing so now. Yeah. And coming on will be Paddy McNair, I think, actually. Thought it might be Balumi, but it is Paddy McNair coming on, number 37.
Yeah. The other thing people might not think about is if that is a problematic injury, like an ACL, which we, fingers crossed, it's not. That's your summer rehabilitating, and I've had one of them as well.
Jones with the header clear from the free kick. Jai gets his head to it, but straight to Fevrier. He's trying to release Carey, but too much on the pass, and will run back through to Pandur. There's an opportunity there. Had the pass been a little bit more accurate. Pandur has it in his penalty area. Paul McNair's pretty much taken a position up the Patazzo did, so no change in the structure for Hull City. As Pandor sends his goal kick away. Chinjay just blocks off McBurney and allows Jones to get the header in, and scooped on by Doherty, asking Kelman to pursue it, but Ajayi should get there first. Well, why he didn't leave it for his keeper to come and get it, I'm not entirely sure. Keeper stayed rooted to the spot, and Ajayi had to clear it away for another Charlton throw, and this is another one that could be launched in.
Yeah, that's a goalkeeping error for me. That's so simple for Pandor to come and take control of that. No threat or danger whatsoever. But if Ajayi doesn't get a call, as a defender, you do have to clear the danger and clear your lines. And that's certainly an unforced error.
Clark with the throw. 20 yards away from the corner flag. Will launch this in. Deep one, headed away by McBurney. Clark will pick it up again. Little touch back to Doherty. Again under pressure here, but Doherty sends it back towards the penalty area. Jones, the target, will rise, can't get there. Might drop to Fevrier, no. Cleared away by Coyle. Carey with a good interception though. Gives the ball to Fevrier. Ball taken off his toes by McNair. Clears it away for another throw-in on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
Will Clark go over to take this? It's a distinct possibility.
I would say so, and what I would do now is I would have somebody just block McBurney. He's won both the long throws. He's allowed a free run at the ball, and if I was Charlton, I would just get my least strongest aerial player who's big and strong just to block McBurney and go from there. But no, he's going to have another free run at this one.
Throw comes in. So Chinjay rises, cleared away by that man McBurney. Headed by Cody. It's crossed to Doherty, sends it back in the penalty area, takes a deflection. It might allow Lundstrom to clear it away, and it does. Gelhardt drops it to McNair. That's a good touch from Nibs. Takes it off his toes, but Hull City recover. Long crossfield ball, which Chinjay reads, gets his head to it. It will be a Hull City throw just inside the Charlton half.
Yeah, that was a delightful crossfield ball from Coyle. You don't see many of them in these days, in this day and age, sorry. That's a very good interception from Chinjay.
Hull City work it back, across to Coyle again on the right-hand side. Gelhardt going for the 1-2. Fevrier pursuing it. I think the ball will beat the pair of them. It does. It's away for a Charlton throw. Almost halfway inside the Addicks half on the left-hand side. We're coming up to 14 minutes in, still goalless here at the Valley.
Yeah,
and it's one of those kick-off times where you'd be anxiously looking at other scores, but it doesn't matter. All the other ones are kicking off at 3 o'clock mostly, so it becomes a pointless exercise. As Gillespie launches this ball down the line, just above Kelman. Ajayi will clear it away, but it goes out again for another Charlton throw. Gillespie will take it again. Possesses a decent long throw himself. Cody looks for the short one, but it's been tracked all the way by Crooks, so Gillespie will go long. Again looking for Kelman. Cleared away by McNair, and repeat the process just a few yards further on. This time Gillespie does find Cody, gets it back. Gillespie being forced backwards, so Jones the recipient of that ball. Across to Kaminsky on the edge of his area. McBurney putting pressure on. Got a tip on the ball as well, but Doherty recovers. Good ball forward, asking Kelman to run, chase it into the channel on the right hand side. Kelman, lovely jink past Egan into the penalty area. Can he deliver across the box? Cleared away. Kelman again. Back to Clark, across field it comes, Doherty! Straight down the keeper's throat. No, it wasn't Doherty, I beg his pardon. Was that Gillespie? No, it's Cody. Beg his pardon. Flashed across the box. Cody with the shot, straight down the keeper's throat. But good opportunity for Charlton. Jones gets his header to the goal kick. Drops to Lundstrom though, in the centre circle. Across to the right-hand side is Coyle. So Charlton serve notice on Hull City there. McNair across to the right, and Lundstrom. McNair wants it back in the centre circle. Across to Giles on this left-hand side. Miller back inside to McNair. Has to go backwards to Ajayi. Launches it forward on that right-hand side, looking for Coyle, and he's got there as well. Coyle, ball into the box. Important flick away for Chinjay as McBurney was lurking, and Gillespie clears it forward up to Kelman. Good control by Kelman. Lovely touch left to Carey. A little bit isolated now, Carey, as Kelman has stayed down, looking for options, and the only one was behind him and Fevrier, but excellent work from Kelman and Carey. to retain possession.
Yeah, and he's in the game at the moment, Kelman. He was off the shoulder for that ball in behind from Doxey that led to the shot from Cody on the edge of the box. And it's not easy being a lone striker out there today. He doesn't have that sort of height advantage, so we've got to make sure the service is good. And at the moment, we're putting it in behind or into feet, and it's working well for him.
Couldn't get to that ball forward though, and Hull have it back with Crooks in the centre, swinging it across. I've no idea who he was aiming for there, because that landed closer to the corner flag than it did to, I think the potential target was Joe Gelhardt, but absolutely nowhere near it, and Charlton have a goal kick with 17 minutes gone, goalless here.
Yeah, and rather oddly, we're up near the 70% possession range, which is very unusual for us, but this is not a bad performance, and I like the way we are trying to play. You're absolutely right about that header from Sinchenje earlier, and it looks to me that McBurney wants to get away from Jones and on Sinchenje on all aerial challenges. I think that's where he sees his best opportunity of being a bit more physical up against our back three, but that was a really important flick from Sinchenje. Excellent ball from Coyle, actually.
Sorry, Brennan, Kaminsky's goal kick couldn't find Kelman. Coyle will send it forward up to Gelhardt, but his ball inside straight to Jones, looking for an out ball. To his left is Gillespie. Carey further left, going on a run. Carey back inside to Doherty. He's got well, he had Cody, but Cody was covered off fairly quickly, so he went back to Jones, who now finds Gillespie again to his left. Now Gillespie forward to Carey, tracked by McNair, goes back to Gillespie. There's no option with Gelhardt close by to go back to Kaminsky.
Wing backs are very high, which I like to see, because it means we're confident and on the front foot. Carey's just dropping in where Fevrier leaves the space by going high. Carey's just dropping into that left wing back spot. He's getting a lot of joy in possession there.
Charlton working across to the right hand side. Clark and Sinchenje combined, trying to go down the line. Giles with the interception. It'll be a Charlton throw on this right. Sinchenje with it. Still carrying that little mark on the top of his head, was it the clattering he took on Wednesday? Down the line with the throw. Kelman heads it inside. Good header as well. Finds Carey. Can he get it across? No, he turns instead. Finds Cody. Backing across to Gillespie. He's got Fevrier out to his left-hand side, but Cody wants it again. Has to go back to Jones as Hull City get back behind the ball. Jones brings it forward. Finds Carey. Again, little touch left to Gillespie. Lofted ball forward, but Ajayi gets there first. Almost made a mess of that, and Doherty was close by but couldn't get there, and then Charlton captain fouls McNair in an attempt to get to the ball. A free kick to Hull City. Yeah. Halfway inside their own half on the right hand side.
Yeah, again, I thought there was an opportunity there to go forward again, and we've come back into the back line. And it's easier said than done. I understand that. You're in the middle of a game, there's a lot going on. That ball just wouldn't come down for Carey, but we did have Fevrier in open space on that left-hand side, and we ended up back with the centre halves. If we could just get that ball, that mentality where we can try and get it forward first.
Pendle's kicks headed away by Jones, up to Kelman. Kelman inside and then released by Cody on a run. That's great work from Kelman into the area, trying to get it on his right foot, gets a shot. Wow! Charlie Kelman with an absolute beauty of a shot into the top corner. Charlie Kelman ran into the channel, beautifully found by Cody. Got it back onto his right foot, left his man on the floor and dispatched his shot beyond Pandor into the top corner. Unstoppable, and Charlton have the lead.
Yeah, and it all starts with an unbelievably good through ball from Connor Cody. That's bouncing, he has to take it on the volley, and not only does he control the weight of the pass, it's a superb ball in behind Ajayi. When we get to that point 1v1, what Kelman does is outstanding. He waits for Ajayi to commit and he just flicks it on the inside and comes out the other side with the ball. What he does after that is even better than those first two things. The shot is unstoppable. It's a screamer. Keeper has no chance. Charlton lead, and it's no more than they deserve, in my opinion. It's a very good performance up to this point.
Well, an outstanding start from the Addicts, and the crowd gasp as they watch the replay of the ball arrowing into the top corner, and again, and let's watch it a third time, why not? Charlie Kelman with an absolute stunner to put us in the lead.
Listen, he's had a really good first 20 minutes, if I'm honest with you, and that's just topped the performance for him. But that's a wonderful bit of individual skill and an exquisite exhibition of what technique can look like when you get it right. Power and curl beyond. Pandora had absolutely no chance.
Well, the restart, Hull send the ball forward. Njinje with a header away, ahead of McBurney. It'll be a Hull City throw in there, preparing to launch this into the penalty area as well. In it comes. Njinje with a header away though. Giles across to Miller. Kelman in front of him. Giles on the overlap, but that's great work from Cody. Not only to get the tackle in, but get the clearance away as well, and then clears it. But it goes out of play for a Hull City throw. Charlton have to be strong with the Valley in full cry. It's a goal that has set the crowd alight. Another long throw incoming from the Hull City left, and in it comes. Headed again away by Njinje, and then Kelman completes the clearance. Coyle, poor touch, sends him backwards, so he's got to go to his keeper. Pandora will give it back to Coyle on the left-hand side at the minute.
Just got to organise as we come out. It's right to get the line as high as you possibly can, but make sure it's done with an organisation. We've just about filtered into our shape now. Took a little bit too long for my liking.
Lundstrom trying to go long, looking for Miller. Njinje covers him, but Miller will pick it up in the left-hand corner. Njinje with a great foot in, but Miller rides the tackle rather fortuitously and then gets the ball back to Giles. Giles swings the ball into the area. Jones with a header away. Lundstrom headers it back into the Charlton penalty area. Njinje's there and just calmly sends it forward. Egan tackled initially by Kelman, but again the ball runs luckily to McNair. Out to Miller on the left-hand side. Inside to Lundstrom. Lundstrom switches it across to Coyle, who's back out on the right. Coyle into the box. Cleared away by Jones. Up in the air. Doherty can't get there. It's headed in by McNair. It'll drop to Doherty. Doherty had the opportunity to send Kelman away, who may be offside. Oh, has he sprung the offside trap? I think he has. But couldn't get there in front of Giles, but Nibs almost stepped in. But Ajayi has it for Hull City. Out to Coyle on the right-hand side. Been held up. I will pass you over to Greg Supley very shortly. Lundstrom in the centre circle. And now McNair. McNair into Coyle.
How much are you stealing?
Brandy's on the watch.
How much are you stealing? Oh, bless Greg's heart.
Well, we've had all the injuries, so we'll get another 20 minutes anyway. So that's Giles on the left-hand side. Miller comes short. Good tackle by Clark, but it ran again fortuitously for Hull and back to Egan. In his own half, Egan across to Ajayi. Egan once more. Egan looks to switch it, looking for the run of Gelhard. Good header away by Gillespie. Can Carey get there? No, he can't. Just beaten to it by Coyle. Now McNair. Charlton retreat across to Lundstrom. Giles further left. Miller inside, but he ignores him and goes back to Lundstrom. Across to Ajayi in the centre. Now out to Coyle on the right-hand side. Hull switching it from left to right. Ball swung in deep, looking for McBurney, and I think a late challenge on aerial challenge on Kaminski's left him on the floor, and as we wait for Kaminski to maybe get treatment, the referee speaking to McBurney, I'll hand you over to Greg Stubley.
Yeah, just looking at Nibs, and he's barely played any football this year, and on recovery he looks like he's already physically struggling just a tad. Njinje's gone down receiving treatment, he's on a yellow. And you've got Kaminski down as well. So, look, it's been an excellent performance up to this point. The setup seems to be working a treat. Kelman looks like he's absolutely up for this game. And he scored probably one of the goals of the seasons. But I like the way we've got Sonny Carey dropping into little pockets of space to receive. I love the way we've got our wing-backs much higher in this game. And that box midfield setup is working an absolute treat against Hull City up to this point. It's been a very good first 25 minutes. Lots to be positive about.
Thank you, Tel. Thank you, Brownie. Yes, certainly. Charlie Kelman's 7th goal of the season. He scored some important goals for Charlton this season. You think 2 of his 7 have come against Oxford. Of course, the winner against the U's here at the Valley, the last-minute penalty at the Sam Stadium. And now that one today, what a beautiful goal that was. Cutting inside onto his right foot, opening a bit of space. Only one thing in his mind was to find that top corner. What a wonderful strike. Man, he's had a bit of a stop-start season, but moments like that, you know, there's talent there. Sachenje is back to his feet. He did signal to the bench when he went down, Sachenje, that he felt like he needed to come off, but
I think he is off.
yeah, he's coming off. Yep. Looks like Reece Burke is being prepared to enter the field, the former Hull City man. So a blow for Charlton. We saw a number of injuries on Wednesday night, and that disrupted our flow then. It was on a yellow card, Sachenje, so...
Yeah, but I didn't see anything really that would have led to him to have got that, picked up the injury, but Burke will come and just naturally take up that right-hand sided centre-half slot next to Jones. And he'll have to contend with Miller, because that's who Sachenje was up against, really. We were forcing Sachenje to go 1v1 against Miller. He was doing a good job, having that one challenge that got him into the book.
Well, Kaminski's okay to continue. His kick goes long and is headed away for a Charlton throw, which Clark will take. Returning to the side after missing the Ipswich game as he couldn't face his parent club. Clark wanted to take an extra 5 yards according to the referee. Referee this afternoon, Tom Neild. As Clark does throw forward towards Kelman, who chests it down a little bit too much, and Nibs did well to win the ball. He's kept it in play as well. Harvey Nibs is still chasing it. Nibs, as he kept it in play. No, one too many. Great effort from him.
Yeah, excellent harassing.
As Hull City have the goal kick. Ajayi, former Charlton Academy graduate, of course, out to the right-hand side to Coyle, and goes long. Fevrier wins his battle. Gillespie with the header forward up towards Doherty. So very obvious push in the back by Paddy McNair. And Charlton had the free kick.
Yeah, Hull City haven't really come to the party at this moment in time, which is a great thing. But this is a very good performance from the home side. And I think if you want to be greedy, you want a second.
As Charlton had the free kick, and Kaminski comes out of his box to take. Comes Jones and Gillespie. 29 minutes played. Charlton 1, Hull City 0 as Kaminski with the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. It's over the head of Jones and headed away by Egan, and Cody gives chase. Jones comes in from Lundstrom, but then hits the former Sheffield United man again, and Charlton will have the throw. Clark will line up to take.
Yeah, I'd set all these up. Like I said, I would just have somebody stood in front of McBurney, I think. He seems to be the one that is aggressive and wants to win the first ball in.
Throw comes in, McBurney wins the header. Cody down to Gillespie on the turn, just didn't quite catch it. As it trickles to the goalkeeper Panda, he looks to release it quickly. Gelhardt the target, it's an awkward ball. Doherty racing back towards his own box, did well to follow it all the way and head it back to Kaminski.
Yeah, the important bit about that is communication. Doherty just giving Kaminski a thumbs up. I guess he got a nice early shout that he wanted his defenders or midfielder recovering to deal with that, and they did.
Jones a long ball forward, Ajayi with a header. Gillespie likewise for Charlton as Nibs competes with Lundstrom. Doherty likewise with McNair as the ball goes forward. Gillespie with another header, too much on that, and Lundstrom will pick it up. Left-hand side is Giles for Hull City. Miller inside to Lundstrom again, who has Ajayi in the centre circle. Looks to switch it across, and not in the same wavelength as Giles, and Charlton will have the goal kick.
Yeah, it's a couple of long balls we've seen. I think the first one was from Crooks, wasn't it? That went out for a goal kick with absolutely no one making the run into the area that he played the ball. And we've just seen it again from Ajayi. Just first things, since the Sachenje change, Clark's suddenly become almost right back. And I just wonder if that's a consequence of just protecting, letting Burke get into the game, let him settle in, give him 5 or 10 minutes, because He was taking up a very aggressive position as a wing-back in his early stages.
Kaminski's goal kick, well headed on by Clark. Kelman's header inside is picked up by Geldhart. And back to McNair, who has Coyle, right-hand side. Doherty just bundled Geldhart off the ball right in front of the referee. So Hull City will have the free kick in the centre circle.
Yeah. Okay, so suddenly we got Clark against Miller, where we had Sinchenja against Miller, and that, you know, this is the little things that can make a huge difference to you, whether you're on the front foot or whether you get pinned back. Keep my eye on it, but at the moment Clark's being dragged back to take Miller.
McNair looks to turn and being tracked by Cody. Ball out to the right to Coyle. First touch was loose, invited the challenge from Carey, but he's still got it back. Coyle, good challenge comes in from Gillespie to win the ball back for the Addicts. It's Fevrier back to Gillespie, who swings it away, and only as far as Lundstrom. Down to Coyle, now Crooks. Geldhart, first chance to take on the Charlton defence is beyond Gillespie in the penalty area. And Jones and Cody come across to block any attempt. And Hull will have the corner.
Yeah, I think that was Cody that made the block, and he sensed danger, didn't he? As soon as Gillespie was 1v1 against in the penalty area, Connor Cody left his central midfield position and burst over there to make sure he got the block.
Hull with the corner. Lundstrom just peels away towards the edge of the penalty area. The referee wants a word with a number of bodies by the penalty spot. Actually just picked something up there, the referee is. Hull prepared to take the corner. Geldhart with the left foot swings it in towards the near post, and Kelman heads it away. I think Reece Burke, in fact, who did that for Charlton, as it comes out to McNair. Whips the ball in. Jones this time with header away as Kelman controls and flicks forward and brought down by Coyle. And a bit of unnecessary foul from Coyle, but he's in the book.
Yeah, everything's falling in favour of Kelman today. It's a little first touch that he just toe pokes forward. I'm with you. I think there was enough cover on there for Coyle not to have to make that. It's a foul. But he had plenty of cover on to not have to do that.
Yeah, it seems to. I mean, Charlie Kelman for Leighton Orient last season, they played with one up top. He was the sole man. Maybe he just enjoys that freedom up top, just running in behind, knowing that he has to chase everything, knowing he's going to have support in midfield.
And let's not forget, Greg, it's as big as a step up is Championship to Premier League. League One to Championship is the same. It's not going to be the same for him. He's up against much better players, but he's also in a side that, you know, passed and had 2 10s. You know, they were a good side last year, Leighton Orient. You know, we've probably not played to his strengths. I think that's fair to say. But he's still, I think that's his 7th. You said earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, in a very disrupted season.
Yeah, sorry, I was just concentrating here because it looked like Hull were just trying to take a quick free kick. I'm not sure what the referee blew his whistle as the ball came towards the edge of the penalty. Whether he saw a foul, yeah, maybe an arm from Lloyd Jones. So I think it will be a Hull City free kick. It was a delayed whistle from the referee. There's going to be a drop ball. I'm not sure why Charlton felt the need to get everyone back and not pressure this, but Hull have the ball and go back to their goalkeeper. Haven't seen the replay, should have been a free kick, but we play on. As ball forward towards Giles and gets in the way of Miller. You can hear by the ironic cheers, and it's a Charlton throw.
Yeah, I mean, as good as I think we've been, and as much as I've praised the goal and the setup and the first 35 minutes, Hull City, well, they're still on the bus. And, I think we've got to expect a different kind of second 45 from them. I think once they get down the tunnel, if it remains this way and the performance remains this way, I think there's going to be a bit of an earful for them.
Egan with the ball forward, Crooks heads inside, now Geldhart. Back to Ajayi as Coyle out the right side. Ajayi's overhit that, and that's just symbol of their play. Ajayi's put a couple of overhit passes. They've really struggled to get Miller on the ball on the left-hand side. Geldhart, both of those are 2 very talented players when driving forward with the ball.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget this is a side that's going toe-to-toe with Wrexham for 6th spot here. So I'd imagine, well, I don't know, because I don't know Hull City side very well, but I imagine the manager's not going to be best pleased with this, and you could see 1 or 2 changes, or at least you know, a change in tempo for them. Not even come here looking like they want to get on the front foot and win this one.
Joe, the long ball forward. Jones clears it away, back towards the edge of the penalty area. Egan pedaling, heads it forward. Coyle likewise, but Charlton through Carey have it again as they go back to Gillespie. So we play 36 minutes here at the Valley. Charlton 1, Hull City 0. Charlie Gilman after 20 minutes, or 1 to strike. The difference between the two sides at the moment. As Kaminski ball forward is over the head of Clark.
A little push in the back there, maybe.
Hull have the throw as Lundstrom. Ball forward looking for Geldhart. Heads it back to Crooks. Crooks advances forward. Ball inside looking for Geldhart. Fevre comes across and leaves it for Jones. And Charlton's vice-captain comes away and clears the ball off Crooks. And then it hits Jones. And will be a Hull corner.
Yep.
A little bit unfortunate for Charlton.
Yeah, it was the old big swinger, wasn't it? Right footer getting caught down that left-back spot. Just winding that left foot up, and it just gave Crooks enough time to get across and make the block. And Jones very unlucky that's double ricocheted out for the corner.
He took an extra touch, Jones, which just allowed the bit of pressure from...
Yeah, look, when you're making a clearance on your left foot, you know, it's not a natural thing. You've got to set yourself properly. It just takes that extra quarter of a second.
Geldhart with the corner right into the 6-yard box. Jones heads it on, comes out to Miller, and a shot is blocked by Carey. Oh, penned the 6-yard box with about 7 players. And in the end, it came to Miller, the former Charlton loanee, who caught it well on the volley. It was blocked, and Hull will have the corner.
Yeah, we know the delivery is going to be good from Giles, asking all sorts of questions, but we do pack out our 6-yard box very, very well. It allows us to make those blocks and those first contacts.
Hull doing it again as the referee spots a potential pull. McBurney has been a frustrated figure up top. Already had a talking to by the referee. He's having another one there as 3 Hull players crowd around Kaminski right on the goal line. This ball towards the near post. Burke gets something to it. Should be a chop. Oh, I thought it came off, potentially came off Egan last, but instead it will be another Hull corner. McNair to take. Whips it in again. Kaminski this time comes out to claim, and good goalkeeping. Yep, it's 2 we've seen Kaminski come for and claim.
Yeah, it's a huge relief of pressure, and that's a very good take. It's the second time he's made a very good, clean, comfortable take inside his 6-yard box. It's good goalkeeping.
Just a slight panic there from Kaminski because he was running out of time. Of course, the new rule came in over the summer last year that goalkeepers only have 10 seconds, or 8 seconds, sorry, and he had to rush a quick throw out. It wasn't the easiest on the eye, but Winnie and Charlton win a free kick halfway inside their half. Foul given as Cody takes a free kick, and it's a ball in the channel that Kelman will chase, and he's done well to chase it. It's poked away by Egan, and Charlton will have the long throw.
I'd say this looks like the first half against Ipswich, where we got players off the shoulder, in behind, retaining possession, and look at the difference it makes. You've suddenly turned, you know, a defensive third free kick into a long throw in the opposition half just because you've timed your run and the ball in behind was weighted perfectly. It's not something you should do all the time, but I'd much prefer to see that than just a floated ball up to a big centre forward that gets nodded down into midfield.
Long throw comes in. It's come off a Jai and could have fallen everywhere, and it's fallen nicely for Miller as Clark comes back to bundle him over. And Hull will have the free kick. And allows Charlton to get plenty of bodies back. As McNair goes back to Egan. 14 minutes played. Charlton 1, Hull 0. We'll have stoppage at the end of the first half. Both sides have been forced into a change. Matoso for Hull. Sechenje for Charlton coming off. There's Giles back to Egan, and Ajayi allowed to carry the ball again. To the right to Crooks. Back to Ajayi. Crosses Egan. He's allowed to carry the ball inside the Charlton half. Up to left to Giles. Ball forward looking for Lundstrom, who's offside. Good line from Charlton, and Lundstrom's ball is out of play anyway. Charlton will have the goal kick.
Yeah, I think we're going to see something vastly different from Hull in the second half. You've got Lundstrom breaking forward, you've got Crooks breaking forward, McBurney deep. You know, they're going to have to throw everything at us in the second 45. We're going to have to be prepared for that. But up to this point, it's like I said, we don't score 2 enough, and that's one of our biggest issues. And we've had a couple of occasions this year where our performances have deserved more than the 1-goal lead, and we haven't managed to go on and get the second, and it's come back to haunt us later on in the game. They've got nothing to lose in this second 45. They're going to have to throw everything at it because of the position they are in the league and what's at the end of the day if they don't get a result.
Nibs with the header forward from the free kick. Kelman bundling his way beyond Egan as the ball's cleared away. Might stay in play as Giles clears it forward, but only as far as Burke. Trying to poke it out to Clark, but Miller takes it off his toes and inside to Geldhart as Hull look to counter-attack. Geldhart out to the right-hand side of the Hull City attack, and Coyle trying to do well to get bodies back, but Hull still on the attack as Coyle just takes an extra touch and stops the move momentarily as it comes back to McNair. On the left-hand side is Giles. Now Lundstrom. Out to the right is McNair inside the centre circle. It's trying to push Hull back. Neat ball inside, finds Geldhart. Looks to fizz a ball towards McBurney. Well cut out by Jones, and Cody tidies up. On towards Kelman. Didn't really have a lot of options there. As Lundstrom brings it away. Challenge from Nibs.
I'll tell you what that was. That was a superb recovery from 9 of the 10 outfielders. Once Burke had got beaten in that bottom corner, as soon as Hull took 1 touch too many and played sideways, we had 9 of the 10 outfielders back in a great shape behind the ball. McNair
Forward towards McBurney, lays it off for Geldhart. Now Crooks, good first touch, trying to bundle his way through, but Doherty's there for Charlton and clears it away and is fouled in doing so. Referee trying to play an advantage as Kilman has 2 bodies around him, but
he's everywhere again, isn't he?
One thing about the skipper you cannot knock is that ability. I mean, the fact he played 90 minutes Wednesday, he'll play 90 minutes again today if need be. His work rate's second to none.
Yes, like I said, I'll always stick up for people that I think give absolutely everything, are super professional at what they do. He's one of those lads that comes and shakes you around every time he sees you. There's no reason to.
It's because he doesn't know you though, Brownie.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean, the abuse I get from you two. I'm better off not knowing people.
There's McNair with the ball forward. Jones with the challenge on McBurney, which is judged to have been unfair. Holding McBurney back. And Hull have the free kick on the halfway line. As McNair takes to Coyle. The pressure from Kelman, drifts forward as we wait to see how many added minutes at the end of this first half. Backheel doesn't work out for Geldhart. It's a good play from Fevrier, and he skips beyond Geldhart and goes on a run here. Fevrier has got space to do so. Beyond Ajayi, Geldhart does well to get back, and just a soft bundle, but again the effort was there from Fevrier.
It needs a call, I think, from Kelman and Carey to reverse turn. I'm behind you, come back. He was going nowhere. But you can tell in that run he didn't get any call or any communication from behind him, and both Kelman and Carey were in positions that if he could have reverse turned, we would have kept possession. Shame, because it was a good burst.
And with the ball forward, 7 added minutes at the end of this first half. Fevrier has a loose ball inside. Lundstrom picks it up, across to Coyle. Back to Ajayi, and now Egan. He looks forward, and not a lot there, so he's been forced back. Here's McNair. Trapped by Kelman, out to the right is Lundstrom. Comes to Ajayi, ball up towards McBurney, being tracked by Jones. Crooks made a decent run off the shoulders, the ball forward towards Geldhart. Good control, back to McBurney, who's deep.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre what they're doing, actually. It's very odd.
McNair now looks to switch the play, and Kaminsky's quick off his line to gather.
Yeah, I mean, Burney's dropping into almost like a deep midfield role, and it's Crooks and Geldhart who's sort of advanced of him, and then Miller on this left-hand side advanced as well. And they're at times got no centre forward ahead of the ball. It's an odd tactic for the last 5 minutes of this first half.
Doherty first to the ball for Charlton. Ball forward, Ajayi with the header, Doherty down towards Carey, trying to hold off his man. Lundstrom with the challenge, and now Coyle looking to switch the play. Miller the target. Burke jumps, does well to win the header, but it can only go as far as Crooks. He's got McNair inside. Now Lundstrom back to McNair. To left to Miller. Nibs close by. This is Burke. Miller goes on the outside, just slips over and does well to get back on his feet. And back to McNair. Charlton with plenty of bodies back as we played almost 2 minutes of the added 7 at the end of this first half. Charlton 1, Hull City 0. Egan. Cross to Lundstrom. Now McNair. Good pressure coming in from Cody, trying to force Hull sideways, which happens. Cole keeps it in play. Lundstrom, ball forward, headed away by Clark. Ball bounces, Kelman tries to go for it, and Egan with the header. Now Ajayi. Gets the ball back, Semi Ajayi, and looks forward, has Coyle on the right-hand side. Ball down the line looking for Crooks, is overhit, and Charlton will have the throw. Gillespie comes across to take. Moves forward, is over the head of Kelman. Forward, Jones with the header, and now McNair down to Lundstrom. Now Coyle all the way back to Panda as Nibs applies the pressure. Panda with the ball forward. Burnley with a free header forward. Jones clears it away. It's a nervy end to this first half. This ball, Doherty forward. Kelman tries to get there. Lundstrom with the header. Doherty down to Cody. There's Crooks behind him. Does well to hold him off. It goes back to Kaminski. Towards the right-hand side. Clark controls. Down to Cody. It's a risky ball inside, and Cody loses control. And now Miller. Advance forward, ball pulls back to Geldhart. Geldhart with the shot and drags it wide, and that was a warning sign.
Yeah.
That was the best chance of the game for Hull. Charlton just trying to be a little bit too cute and clever on the right-hand side and almost punished for it.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have to endure moments like that, particularly in the second half as they search for an equaliser. But he's got to hit the target, Geldhart. I mean, that's unforgivable from there. He was trying to be too accurate, I think, going for Kaminski's bottom left-hand corner, and I think it's just a case of driving your foot through the back of the ball and hitting the target. But that was a well-worked move, finding a decent technical player on the edge of the box, and he'll be disappointed he hasn't hit the target. But like you say, warning shot.
Lundstrom the ball forward. I'll go out play for Charlton throw. It's the first time the Valley's just got to a little bit of silence. It's been relatively calm. And plenty of songs that have been sung by the covered end, but that, just a reminder, it's not done yet. Still got another half to go. Burke with the throw forward. Giles heads it inside, Nibs flicks it on, the ball comes out to Carey. Carey controls, he thinks about a shot, and that one drags wide as well. You know he's capable from range, but...
Yeah, I look, the one thing about Sonny Carey, the blood rushes to his head a little bit when he gets in shooting range, and sometimes when you do that and you can just see his brain quickening up. He's so desperate to get the shot away, quickens up, and his legs quicken up, and you've just got to slow yourself down ever so slightly to make sure you get the right contact away. You know, you can go back to Kelman's strike if you want to have a look at composing yourself. That second touch inside that opens up the far corner allows him to execute, you know, under control, whereas Carey always looks like he's rushing. He's just dragged that across the goal.
Ball forward, and Clark heading it back to his own goalkeeper, gets that one wrong, and it goes out of play for a whole corner, and as McBurney tried to rush to get it, Kaminski for a not so subtle trip on Burke. So it's a yellow card for the Charlton goalkeeper, but a corner for Hull just before half time, and again an unnecessary error.
Yeah, Yeah, they're just starting to get a little bit more effective, aren't they, as an attacking side Hull.
Corner's taken towards the far post, headed back by Egan and cleared off the line. It's a goal. Egan with the header that went over the line according to the referee. And Hull City just before half-time have the equaliser.
Yeah, I mean, that's 51 and a bit minutes into this first 45. And they have looked dangerous from set pieces. We know they possess good delivery, and they've made first contact on this occasion beyond the far post, and we've not managed to get a leg across that flight of that ball before it's crossed the line. Obviously they have scientific, yeah, you can just see that's over. But you look at the linesman, you look at the referee, they both look at their watches, they both buzz. That indicates the ball has crossed the line. What are you seeing, Greg? A foul? Oh, it's a clear-cut foul on Kaminsky. It really is. If there's VAR, that's getting chalked off for sure. He's pulling his shirt.
Yeah, Charlton will feel hard done by if you watch the replay. Certainly a pull from McBurney on Kaminsky.
There's a little row here between Jones and Clark as well as they go down the sideline.
Well, there is a half-time whistle. At half-time here, it's Charlton 1, Hull City 1. As it stands, Charlton would stay in the Championship next season. But just before half-time, Hull City grabbing an equaliser. It was Charlton who started the game so well again. Charlie Kelman with an outstanding strike after 20 minutes from range, beating Pandor, who had no chance. And just before half-time, Egan with a header at the far post. Replays suggest that maybe McBurney was pulling, well, certainly was pulling on the shirt of Kaminsky, who is complaining to the referee at half-time here. But as it stands, Steve Brown, despite a little bit of a setback with that Hull City goal, Charlton will still be playing in Championship next season if it stays like this. It's going to be a nervy second half, let's say.
Yeah, well, I think that's completely changed the complexion of the half-time team talks, and the nervousness of the second 45 now will kick in. The supporters will feel that equaliser, the players will feel that equaliser, and they've got to be brave. You know, if the one thing that you've noticed in that last 15 minutes is we've suddenly become pegged back. The wing-backs that were really high and aggressive in the first half hour of that game are now sat beside their back three and making a back five, and that's going to see us penned in, and that will suit Hull City. They have to get a result to keep their playoffs alive. I hope we don't try and cling on to a point, because I think that'll find us stuck behind the ball and not progressing as we have in that first 45. The game has swung there, Greg. I've got to be honest here. 30 minutes in, you just felt Hull started to get on the front foot. They started to be a little bit more aggressive in the attack. We then became a little bit more defensive, and we don't want to see that structure set in place like it did the second half on Wednesday night, where we started to go really long. We lost the service up to the front player. We brought on Dykes and we went long to him, and it didn't suit us. We didn't get the knockdowns, and Ipswich took control of the second half. But, you know, in terms of performance, I thought that was excellent for 30 to 35 minutes. I thought we were terrific. We were aggressive. We were front-footed. The goal is absolutely outstanding. You won't see a better one, I don't think, this season, or we haven't seen a better one this season, sorry. Name one if you can. But, yeah, that's good. That's going to send nerve waves through the fan base, and undoubtedly, you know, into the dressing room. But we've got to try and be brave. We've got to try and go and find a way to get a second to take the pressure off a little bit without leaving ourselves a bit exposed. But funny, I think the Sinchenje substitution has made a difference, because I think Clark has now become a little bit more defensive where he was aggressive in that first 20-25 minutes.
Well, there you are. There's the thoughts of Steve Brown here at half-time. Charlton 1, Hull City 1. Do join us in about 15 minutes' time here on Charlton TV as we bring you all the second half action. And while we do so, today is, of course, celebrating the club's annual Upbeats Day, and the Upbeats are going around the Charlton ground at present. It's always a fantastic occasion to see them here in SE7. Fantastic work from the Community Trust, and thank you to everyone who got involved this morning with the walk and donating. You can still donate as well, and we'll bring you a very special video as well. As the Charlton Upbeats programme, specifically for people with Down syndromes, has been a firm favourite amongst Charlton fans for almost 20 years now. And the Upbeats team recently had a training session with the men's first team and Nathan Jones. Let's take a look at how they got on.
loved every single minute of it. We loved seeing the players, the coaching staff, and the coach himself, and the gaffer is amazing.
What position do you play? Striker, yeah. Same here. Okay, mate. He's a swimmer. How you doing? You okay? You good? Yeah, I'm good. Hey, you got 6 centimeters.
What's happening, you big guy?
All them celebrations you've been practicing, they better come out. Yeah. You've done roly-poly.
Eye on you. Yeah, we'll set a pitch up now. We get the staff. Right, keep your wits about you, yeah? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Keep your wits about you. Captains. You all right? You all good, yeah? Oh, there you go. Nail it.
I want to see every single person being the best person that you can be, and prove yourself to the gaffer you're the right man for the job.
Seriously, what's going on here? Oh. Jinky Jinkison. Oh.
Running over it. Connors, don't fall for it. Oh, whoa! Oh! This guy's not.
You ain't scoring. You ain't scoring against us.
He's scoring.
You ain't scoring against us. I'm telling you.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Hey, great game, boys. Good game.
Well done, guys.
Well done, mate. Good game.
Brilliant. Really good. Really good. Well done, you.
Well, they're just part and parcel of what we do at this football club. You know, they've been magnificent in the thing they do. They always bring a real good, happy energy to this place, and we love having them. So, you know, when they come in, they always want to play us. So we do that. It's bruising at times, as I've just can testament. But no, look, it's so important. They're part and parcel of what we do. The community trust is huge, you know, and we have one of, if not the best community trust in the league and in the football league. So it's really important that said when we get them in, that we show them that we care about them as much as they do for us. It's just another facet of our fantastic football club. You know, what the fans do and how they raise the money, and these are, you know, right at the forefront of that. And then, as I said, when they come in, they're so good to have around. But the work they do for the football club, as I said, we can't underestimate the importance of that. But we only see the 90 minutes on a Saturday, but underneath, this football club is built on real solid ground.
Well, welcome back to Charlton TV. This production sponsored by NordVPN. At half-time here, it's Charlton 1, Hull City 1. John Egan's header just before the break, grabbing that equaliser for Hull. All set for what's going to be a massive second 45 minutes here at the Valley. Reminder that Charlton only need a point, so as it stands, Charlton will be playing in the Championship again next season. We can go to we can go to Swansea City, should I say, next weekend, with no pressure whatsoever, but still work for Charlton to do to make sure that is the case. You're joined by myself, Greg Snubley, alongside me, Steve Brown, and a little bit later, Terry Smith, as Charlton have kick-off for the second half, shooting towards the covered end.
Half-time substitution for Hull City, coming off number 6, Shahir Jay.
Hull
Number 10, Mohamed Baloumi.
are making a change at half-time, an attacking one. Mohamed Baloumi is on for Semi Ajayi, which might see Paddy McNair drop into the back four. Crooks drop a little bit deeper, and Baloumi to the right midfield is probably where they'll go here. So an attacking sub.
I did say they've got absolutely nothing to lose at this point. They're chasing down 6th spot. They've got to go for it. But likewise, I hope that doesn't see us just sit back into a defensive shape because of the changes we've had to make.
Charlton get the second half underway. Carey back to Kaminski, who goes long. Egan backpedaling, heads it away. Lundstrom down to Giles. Ball forward. Doherty and Cody. So it's Burke who helps it on. Nibs now. Trying to lay it off, but loses out. And Hull will look to break. Doherty's down off the ball for the time being for Charlton. Trying to get back to his feet as Hull look to play on. Miller switches across. Fevrier with the header. It's back to Coyle. The right-hand side, Baloumi. First opportunity to take on Fevrier. Cuts inside on his left foot. Crosses it in, headed away by Burke. Now Miller. Forced out by Nibs. Giles whipped the ball in. It's a dangerous one towards the far post, and Fevrier did well just to hold off Baloumi. It's a wonderful ball in from
wicked,
Giles.
isn't it? It's absolutely wicked. I mean, he has the best left foot, I think. Maybe I'm jumping the gun there, but certainly as a defender breaking forward, he's got one of the best left foots and deliveries I've seen this season. It's accurate, it's got power.
Well, it won't surprise you to learn he's always high in assists for in the Championship.
I mean, listen, I'd give him everything around the box, corners, free kicks, everything. He's got a superb left foot. McBurney close to making contact, the substitute Baloumi close to making contact. Fevrier actually did very, very well to block him off there at the far post.
Kaminski with the goal kick, well helped on by Nibs, but Egan's there for Hull. Cody with the header forward. Nibs first to it for Charlton. Sliding challenge comes in from Lundstrom, judged to have fouled Nibs. Charlton with the free kick.
I think Nibs is one of my worries in terms of fitness levels. I think we're going to see him drop off quite dramatically, so that's a position that we'll keep an eye on, because what you don't want to see is Nibs just dropping, like, because he's running out of steam, he just ends up dropping into a safe position behind the ball and he gets deeper and deeper. Same with Carey. You know, you kind of understand why maybe Clark, the right wing back, gets sort of tucked in alongside Burke, but there's no excuses on this left hand side. I think Fevrier, we're quite aggressive in that first half hour, and what you don't want to see is us pin back and become really defensive.
Charlton with the free kick. Carey to take, and Jones, Gillespie and Burke all up from the back. Carey prepares to take. Floats the ball into the penalty area. Jones wins the header. Ball comes to the right hand side, and Kelman lays it off for Carey. First time ball in the box cleared away by McBurney. Towards Baloumi, headed down by Doherty. Now Cody did well to work it out to the right hand side, and Carey's been fouled by Geldhart, and Charlton have a free kick again in pretty much identical position to the last one.
Yeah, well, there's no way they can cover us off man for man height wise. You've got Jones, Gillespie, Burke, Cody. You know, we're overloaded with absolute giants. What you've got to get right here is that, as you just saw with the Jones first header, is not to get in front of the ball too much. You want one or two going beyond the first header to try and get on anything that falls in, outside the 6-yard line. But you also want one or two backing it up on the edge of the box to get a shot away should the cushion be behind the first two runners. So you just got to make sure we mix up where we position ourselves for that first contact.
Carey to take. Again with the floater ball in, but this time it's too close to Panda. Rolls it out immediately to Giles, and Hull will look to attack. Giles the ball forward over the head of Cody, and well picked up by Miller. Not a lot ahead of him, Liam Miller. Ball out to the right hand side, and Geldhart looks to shoot with his left foot. Does so. Came through a crowd of bodies, but not a lot of power. So Kaminski can get down to his right hand side to gather.
Yeah, I think we've just got to get a little bit tighter than that to the shooter. We are in the...
Gillespie the long ball forward, and Kelman will give chase, and he's onside here, Charlie Kelman. Timed his run to perfection, now needs a bit of support. Gets it from Clark. No one in the penalty area at the moment as Clark turns back and finds Burke. Now Cody inside to Doherty. And to the left-hand side is Gillespie. Gillespie, ball into the penalty area. Headed away only as far as Clark, who controls, thinks about a shot, Clark, and does so, but drags it harmlessly wide.
Yeah, it goes back to what I said first half about snatching at shots, and we saw Sonny Carey do very similar. Clark's technically a very good player, but that ball drops right underneath him, and he knows if he adjusts or takes another touch, there is a chance that that's going to get stolen away from the pressure coming on him. So he gets the shot round the half volley, technically gets it wrong, little snatch, drags it wide. But that was a lovely through ball from Gillespie, and it's nice to see actually Kelman still getting in behind, off the shoulder, making those runs.
Now across to Egan, and out on the right hand side is Coyle. Looming out close by him is Fevrier and Sonny Carey. It's from Coyle to Lundstrom. Egan across to McNair. It's a risky ball. McNair has to go back and play it to his goalkeeper as Nibs applies good pressure.
He's not been backed up though. We've stayed in it, and that's not a good sign. We have stayed in the same defensive shape 15 yards into our own half.
Doherty does well to win the ball back for Charlton. Now Carey inside to Cody. Finds Burke advancing forward from defence. He's put the ball forward, takes a deflection. Ball comes down, we'll find Doherty. Can bring it forward. Out to the left-hand side is Fevrier. Fevrier, low ball in towards Nibs, who couldn't get on the end of it. It's a wonderful ball in from Fevrier. And just needed the touch from Nibs.
Yeah, that's as good as Giles's ball in. Nibs arriving at pace, and it just is inches from the bottom of his boot, and any touch on that finds the back of the net. Pandora has no chance if Nibs gets anything on that delivery. It's a super delivery from Fevrier. What I liked about that and how we conjured up that attack was Burke breaking out from the right side of centre half. Need to see more of that. That's how we get that little advantage in that midfield area.
Nibs has done well to win the ball back for Charlton, and Jones just pokes it forward. And, like a bit of a soft free kick given against Harvey Nibs. To be fair to the assistant referee, he's right next to that. As Hull want to get a move on with the free kick. And they do so as it goes across to Panda. Side to Crooks. Across to Egan. Goes long with Burney the target. Jones wins the header. Lindstrom tries to get there. Nibs holds him off, but ball falls nicely to McNair, and now Giles advances forward. Nibs trying to get back as Giles whips the ball in, well blocked by Burke, and then Nibs clears it away, just showing signs of that.
Yeah, what we said.
Stamina you mentioned, had a lot of minutes.
And we're going long to Kelman, and from deep, and we're not going to be able to get the line up, and suddenly you're going to get pinned in.
Blooming with the reverse ball as well, spotted by Kaminski, who's quick off his line, as Miller made a run from the left wing.
That's good anticipation, actually. He left his spot long before that through ball, which allowed him to make the gather. Good awareness from the keeper.
Fevrier, good ball up to Kelman, lays it off for Carey, and there's space for Charlton, the right-hand side, and it's Burke again for Charlton. Just swap places with Clark momentarily as
But even that, right, I'm going to be really picky here. If that ball's 5 yards in front of Burke, you force him to take the first touch forward. You play it behind him, he has to wait for it. Hull get 4 behind it, and it peters out. It's such a simple thing. 3 or 4 yards in front, force Burke onto the front foot.
It's a vital slip by Cody as Hull are breaking forward. McBurney across to Miller in the penalty area. Miller onto his right foot, goes for goal, well blocked by Gillespie, comes down, and the shot is wide from Geldhart.
Yeah. And again, look, you can say it's been ultra critical, but these things lead to that. The whole impetus of that attack stopped with that 5-yard cyber ball to Burke. If you play it in front, you force him to come forward. His first touch goes forward. He's looking forward. The minute you make him look down, stop, stand still, take a touch. 4 players behind the ball. He gives it back to Kerry. We lose possession. We're then having a shot against us when we should be going forward into the final third. I mean, it's a really simple thing to do.
It's a chance for Geldhart watching the replay. It's not an easy chance, but on his favoured left foot, a volley from close range. He just didn't connect with it properly at all. And let off for Charlton as ball forward. Gillespie heads it up in the air. Miller likewise as Jones this time forward. Clark gets something to it, but breaks down for Crooks. And then back to Lundstrom and across his Coyle. And Coyle's got space to advance forward. Forward down the line is Balloumy's. Chance to take on Fevrier. It's a wicked ball in the box outside of his left foot. Jones stretched it across and clears it away.
Yeah, I mean, they've done more, haven't they, Hull, inside this first 10 minutes of second forward than they conjured up in the first 45 in its entirety. They're looking a lot more dangerous than they did, and they're searching for this second goal that will give them the lead. But that's good defending.
Certainly a lot more open this second half.
It's a horrible ball to deal with as well. I don't quite know how it's ended up above the crossbar from that position.
McNair with the corner in the 6-yard box, punched away by Kaminski. And Hull will have the throw. There's a lot of debate at half-time as to whether Kaminski went down a little bit too easily, or I think as soon as you see the replay and you see the tug of the shirt,
it's a foul. It's a bad miss from the referee. Yeah, do you give them a little bit of credit for being cute? I don't know. But certainly we didn't make enough of it.
Throw comes in headed on by McBurney, but comfortable catch for Kaminski. Rolls it out to Clark. He's got Burke to his right-hand side. Reece Burke for Charlton. Pulled forward and Kelman wasn't there.
Yeah, okay, so we're getting to that scenario we thought might come. Frustrations around the valley. You know, a ball into open space, Hull City will start to dominate possession. They're conjuring up opportunities, and suddenly there's a fear around the valley, and it's the Hull City supporters that find their voice. The drummers drumming though, so they are still trying to get behind the team.
Balloumy's looked at class access coming on for Hull. Down to Coyle, ball in the box. Clark clears it behind. Hull will have the corner.
Yeah, you can sense it, can't you? There's a real change in the pattern of the game.
Talking of change, Charlton will be making one shortly. Tyrese Campbell's being prepared to come on. Nathan Jones just sensing that the game's going away. Obviously there's a couple of players, Nibbs in particular, who's not had a lot of minutes. Maybe needing a freshness into his attack. As McNair takes the corner, whips it in with pace. Burke with a good header away. Kerman controls and bounces it forward, and Fevrier will give chase. Coyle waiting for the ball to bounce, heads it back to his goalkeeper, and rolls it out immediately to Giles and across to Lundstrom. Carey's just got to get back and preoccupy it. Balloumi, while Fevrier with that lung-busting run forward has got another 30 yards to get back. There's Crooks. Up to Giles, back inside to Crooks. Finds McNair. Left to Giles and back to McNair. Charlton with players deep. Lundstrom just occupying a centre-half role for the time being. Out to the right to Coyle. Ball forward looking for Balloumi. Fevrier gives chase and holds him off, does well. Jaden Fevrier,
he's done well there, Fevrier. Bear in mind he was chasing down the keeper not 15 seconds ago. And he's back into the wing-back spot. and making sure Balumi doesn't get that crossing. But yeah, we've gone from that really exciting box midfield that I thought was working well, almost to a flat 4 in front of a back 5 with Kelman isolated up top. Nibs is sort of more to the right of Cody, and Carey's more to the left of Doherty. And at the start of the game, I thought they were a lot squarer, and causing Hull City a few issues. And we had one of those two, Carey or Nibs, getting beyond Kelman. That's sort of gone as well.
Kaminsky with the goal kick. Trying to get there, it's headed away. Doherty touchdown to Carey, to Fevrier. It's a risky ball. Fevrier trying to hold off Balumi. Looks like he's pulling on the shirt of Jaden Fevrier. And in the end, Charlton will settle for the throw. Talking of which, it sounds like Chambers is going to come on for Charlton as well as Campbell shortly.
Yeah, well, Fevrier's run a race, I think, and he's absolutely exhausted, as I think Nibs has. And these are players that haven't played enough minutes.
Sounds like they're just holding off on those subs, Charltoners. Kaminsky with the free kick. Decision was given, albeit late. Kaminsky goes long. Helped on by Gillespie. Trying to get there as the ball comes down. Gillespie fighting for it. Crooks holds him off. Ball down the line comes off Macaulay Gillespie. Hull will have the throws. We've played almost 60 minutes gone. Charlton 1, Hull 1. It's going to be a long 30 minutes as Giles with the throw. Headed away by Jones as the ball's up in the air. Cody gets something to it. Doherty helps it on. It's a header away only as far as Nibs for Charlton. Out to the right is Clark. Pokes it forward for Nibs to give chase, and there's too much on that.
Again, you just come backwards to Burke. He's got 3 options behind him in Cody, Burke, Doherty. And you've got Nibs who's on his last legs physically. Just compose yourselves a little bit more. Make the right decisions in the right moments. We had more than enough time to just go back to Burke and keep possession there.
Eagle with the ball forward. Balloon keeps it in. Just find Geldhart, and Fevrier does well to get his body across, and then Doherty. Fevrier again just showing that lack of composure we're talking about. It did all the hard work.
It's just the circumstance of the season and the game, Greg. But one of the things that will probably be affecting the mentality out there is that we haven't scored 2 goals at home for such a long time. And with Hull City pegging us back at 1-1, I mean, the timing of that goal is horrendous. But we've just got to find a way to wrestle and like you say, compose yourself and wrestle back possession of the ball.
Balumi advancing forward will go for goal from range. Kaminsky diving to his left, makes the save. He didn't need to, but he was unaware. Didn't want to take the chance, and Hull with the corner.
He's giving it the old I didn't know, sort of shrug of the shoulders. But again, no pressure on the ball, comes late. Balumi with a good run off the first touch, and again, we've got lots of players around. I thought it was done us a favour taking the shot, to be honest, but it's led to a corner.
Balumi will come across to take. Footed ball in and straight at Kaminsky.
I'm going to have to question why Giles isn't on that.
Ball forward cleared away by Giles.
That doesn't make sense to me. You got the best deliverer of a ball in the league. Searching for a second goal. Bit of a let off. Balumi straight to Kaminsky. Good claim though from the keeper. He's made 2 or 3 really good claims today.
Charlton will be making a double change. Carey to come off. Chambers to come on. Imagine Nibs is probably the other man to make way. Confirmation of that change. So Nibs off for Tyrese Campbell. Carey off for Chambers. We'll see Fevrier going a bit more of an advanced midfield role.
There's a little conference in the middle of the pitch between Fevrier, Doherty and Cody. And he's certainly going front right, I would imagine, Fevrier. Chambers in at left wing back. And Campbell, I think, will go a little bit more advanced than Nibs. I think we're going to have to try and utilise his pace off the shoulder and turn this defensive display. Well, it's not a display, it's more of a defensive setup we've got.
Well, you look at Coyle, right back, who's been booked as well. Maybe they see that as he's an experienced player, Louis Coyle, of course.
Yeah, it's a good point. But I don't think you're going to, like you say, I don't think you're going to suck him into a second yellow. I found myself on a yellow, I think 60 odd times in a game, and if you're clever enough, you don't really get yourself in a position where you're forced into getting the second yellow. Only happened once.
Well done, you, my friend.
Loon at home.
Well, Charlton have won a free kick, and Cody is asking for Kaminski to take. So Charlton are going to line up and go for this from Thomas Kaminski as Jones, Gillespie and Burke come up from the back.
Don't like sarcastic praises, Greg.
you prefer the direct nastiness, don't you? There's Kaminski with the ball in the box. Gillespie with the header, but Bandor diving to his left can gather. No Charlton player could get to that as Hull look to release. One ball forward. First job for Chambers to do is a good header forward to Gillespie, who calmly finds Campbell. First opportunity for Tyrese Campbell to take on the whole defence, two for company, one of which is Coyle. Campbell with pace. Left-hand side, Tyrese Campbell wins a corner straight away as Coyle deflects it behind.
Yeah, and that's excellent, actually. And I'll rewind that right from the ball from Gillespie. We've seen players just hook it on down the line, smash it forward, and we've been asking for a bit of composure. That's what it looks like. It's a lovely little ball from Gillespie into Tyrese Campbell, and it's excellent from Campbell in terms of the decisions he made. There was a double up from Crooks on the inside, and normally you see Tyrese still try and take the inside. He didn't on this occasion. He drove to the byline, and he sucked Coyle into a challenger one, Charlton a corner. That was excellent all round.
Fevrier to take. Can Charlton make the most of this corner? Fevrier is waiting for the movement inside the penalty area. Whips it in with pace and it's well headed away by that man, McBurney. Fevrier trying to get it back to Chambers, but Bellumi's there and clears it forward up towards Miller. Doherty holds him off but couldn't quite get there, and then Clark with the header back to Kaminski and rolls it out straight away to Doherty. Doherty, no options ahead, so turns Geldhart out to Chambers. Ball forward will give Campbell something to chase. Panda's come out of his box. And we'll let this go out for a Hull City goal kick as we play 65 minutes. Charlton 1, Hull City 1.
I tell you what, he's done a hell of a job, McBurney, defensively for them, because that was a wicked delivery in. He's done it exceptionally well on the first header on the long throws, and that was a brilliant defensive header from the centre forward.
And a long forward towards McBurney. It's a great header to find Miller. An opportunity here for Hull perhaps as Miller advancing forward. Ball's behind Geldhart, so Bellumi will pick it up on the right hand side. Coyle is the overlap, and Coyle in space will get there. Lofted ball's over hit, and Charlton will have the goal kick, but there's just a warning sign there. Campbell didn't track Coyle.
Yep, it's a weakness in his game for sure, but we were let off there by delivery. You could see what he was going for, Coyle. He just wanted to leave that ball to be attacked, probably centre to far post, and leave it high in an area where maybe McBurney could get across the centre half and win the header. It just came off the outside of his boot ever so slightly, and off it goes to safety. But yeah, that is one worry. It always is, but you accept that, I think. If you're a manager putting him on, you hope he tracks back, but you hope he does more damage, Tyrese Campbell this is, going forward than you require him to do defensively.
Kaminski's goal kick is headed away by Lundstrom. Chambers goes back to Kaminski. Clears forward. Kelman trying to hold off Egan. Open his shirt. Play continues. Doherty, ball lofted forward. Coyle, wayward header, comes to Fevrier. Control from Fevrier. Now looks to turn onto his left foot. Still with it, Fevrier beyond Egan. Edge of the penalty here. Fevrier will go for goal! Jaden Fevrier with a wonderful strike for Charlton. Cutting inside onto his left foot. And Hull tried to bring him down. They couldn't do so. And Jaden Fevrier has just restored Charlton's lead.
Yeah, well, listen, he picks up a ball. He's allowed to drive 10 to 12 yards onto his right-hand side. They never really impose enough pressure on him to make him take the right-hand slot and deliver. And there's enough space for him to cut back on that left foot. They still don't get tight enough. They're almost enticing him into the shot. And the last thing I'd allow Fevrier to do is get onto that left foot 20 yards out. That opens up that bottom right-hand corner against Pandor, the Hull City goalkeeper. He's still got a bit of work to do, but we've seen two exceptional goals here today. That one doesn't quite hit the technical ability of Kelman's, but it's still a wonderful individual goal, and it's done something that we haven't seen here. You'll give me the stats, but by October or something, it's a second goal at the Valley.
It certainly is, and doesn't it feel good, Mr. Brown? Jaden Fevrier on loan from Stockport. A valuable contribution. They had a good game today, Fevrier, and initially left wing back, now given that little bit of freedom going forward. And Hull will be making two changes. And as they do so, we will be bringing in Terry Smith to lead commentate for the rest of the second half.
Well, that is an atmosphere changer for sure. Suddenly the covered end, bar none, everyone is up, singing and clapping. And we needed that goal. Boy, did we need that goal.
Oh, what a time to bring me on. My throat's gone. Super strike from Jaden Fevrier. Thanks, Greg. Now Charlton, something to hold on to, something to make sure we have championship football here next season. Gelhard and Miller both off. As Hull go down the right-hand side, looking for Balumi. Across comes Gillespie, clears it away. So we are Hull City throw on their right-hand side. And 15 yards away from the corner flag. Balumi will take the throw. Looks like he's going to launch it into the penalty box. Coming up to 70 minutes gone. Charlton have the lead again. Two stunning goals at the Valley. Throw comes in. Into the 6-yard box. Jones with the header away. Back out to Balumi. Trying to get it on his left foot. Does so. Curling effort. Kaminsky with the save down to his right-hand side.
Yeah, again, if you want to be critical, it's allowing players to get shots off when we need to get a little bit tight. There's a lot at stake here. You know, start throwing your body in front of things, get a little bit tighter when it, you know, the opposition get into dangerous positions.
Fevrier does really well to bring the ball down from Kaminsky. Sets up Cody out to the right-hand side. Is Clark. Ball into the box. Headed away before Kelman can get there. It's cleared by Crooks out to Gillespie. Good ball to Campbell. Doherty picks it up on the left. Campbell behind. Still Greg Doherty. Turns back, gives it to Therese Campbell. He's got Chambers in support. Chambers forced backwards to Gillespie, in turn forced back by Crooks to Kaminsky. Jones on the right sends it forward under a little bit of pressure. Kelman would look for it, but it's headed clear by McNair. It's a late challenge by Clark on might be, was it Giles which was late on? I think it might have been Giles. There will be a Hull City free kick just beyond halfway inside the Hull City half on the left. Giles refusing treatment, so he'll be able to get up again, putting his boot back on.
If it stays like this, Yo could get a little bit more business today. I might even go down there.
Brownie on the hunt for free beers already.
Listen, don't speak too early. There's a lot of work to do here.
Indeed. Hull City switch the ball across to the left-hand side. Balumi heads it infield looking for McBurney. Gillespie for company. McBurney dragged backwards. Balumi picks it up. Balumi across to the middle. Takes the shot. Superb block from Cody. Right in the chest, and he's felt the effects of that. The referee holds the ball up.
He's had a tough couple of weeks on blocks, hasn't he? Yeah. That one I think is more like knocked his Adam's apple through the back of his neck, if I'm honest with you.
Is it slightly higher than the chest, was it?
He's all right. But
whatever it mattered, whatever he got in the way of it, he got in the way of it, and that's the key.
And the point that I was making earlier about Balumi coming in, he's looking to get on that left foot and get his shots away every single time he receives possession. We've got to get out to it. Nice to see we had someone on top of Balumi for the first shot. Cody on top of the second shot, taking one in the throat.
We restart. Ball switched across to Egan. Egan back inside. McNair inside the Charlton half. Forward to Crooks. And to the right-hand side is Balumi. Chambers forces him backwards. Egan again. Balumi comes looking for it. Good touch pass to the right-hand side. It goes. Coyle back inside to Egan. McNair once more on halfway. Egan, little ball forward to Crooks, who's in a bit of space on this right-hand side. Cuts inside. 1-2 with Balumi, trying to give it back to him. It's good defending by firstly Chambers and then Jones to clear it away, but it went straight to Giles. Ball into the box, straight to Kaminski, who drops to the floor with the ball in his hands.
Yeah. And Coyle's had a couple of deliveries on his right-hand side that just haven't quite hit the spot. He's let us off again there.
Clark makes a mistake but rectifies it immediately. The ball out though. It's picked up by Lundstrom inside to Slater, across to Giles. Coyle rather, ball into the box, looking to switch it across, headed back in, headed away by Burke. Another header coming back in, Burke again in the way, and this time he gets enough on it to give it to Fevrier. He looks to take on Giles on the outside, still Fevrier, little to assist him. Runs out of room on the right hand side, it'll be a throw-in.
Yeah, that's okay. Bravery in possession, trying to drive the ball forward into opposition half.
Excuse me, Hull City have it again. Egan forward to Crooks. Seeing much more of the ball in the last few minutes. Crooks across to McNair in the centre circle, brings it forward, ball up to Slater, turns, trying to send Giles away on the left hand side. Fevrier for company. Giles whipped in his cross, headed away by Clark. Good header as well, but it will be a throw in to Hull City on the left hand side. Ball in, cleared away by Doherty. Kelman looking for it. Egan gets there first. Drops to Lundstrom. Ball forward from Egan over the head of everybody. Yep. McBurney had come short into the hands of Kaminski.
It would be lovely to have the sniffer dog, wouldn't it, for the last 15? Maybe, well, we might not need him. And I'm on the understanding that he could be available for next Saturday, should that be the case. But if we get that 3 points today, there'll be no need to risk him, but it'd be brilliant timing to bring him on here.
Try and work it down the right-hand side, but the outball from Cody is just a little too strong for Burke. Goes out to play for a throw. Quickly taken back to McNair. Across to Egan. Egan in his own half, bringing it forward. Inside of him is Lundstrom. Long ball forward, looking for Slater. Burke with a header away, but Lundstrom gets there first. Out to Giles on the left. Giles halfway inside the Charlton half. Ball across to Crooks. Doherty coming to meet him. Little ball up to Slater. Got another good foot in from Burke. Forces him backwards. Slater though across to Egan. Egan lifts the ball into the penalty area again. Again it's Burke who's there. Clears it away. McNair goes right. Egan has to chase this across. Get something on it towards Coyle. Chambers for company. Puts it out for a throw-in. Coyle quickly with it. Balumi back to Coyle. Balumi again on this right-hand side for Hull. Into the corner, swings the ball in with his left foot, and again Kaminski claims. Under pressure from Crooks, and McBurney grabs it in the shade of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, he's commanded his box very, very well today. It's another very good claim.
Long ball forward, McNair wins it, straight to Doherty though. Good ball out to Fevrier, cuts inside, that was probably the wrong way, but
he shattered
the challenge coming in from Joseph. Puts the ball out of play for a Charlton throw, and wonder how long before Fevrier is replaced with 13 minutes or so left.
Yeah. And he is. I mean, there's one or two. Kelman's tired, Fevrier's tired.
Well, the team have put a shift in, there's no question about that. And the reward so far is a 2-1 lead. As Burke prepares to take this throw down the line to Clark. Touches it back to Burke. Down the line to Kelman, tries to turn away, but put out of play by Hull City. Another throw to Charlton. This time, will Charlton risk the long throw, risk players forward? Not sure Jones and Gillespie are asking the question. But Jones and Gillespie stay back to keep an eye on McBurney. There'll be a substitution for Hull City. Giles coming off. And Kumes, the player coming on.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with that, Giles. Body language was very despondent.
He's walking around the back in front of the covered end as Kumes comes on. Charlton have this throw in which Clark looks to at least shaping to be sending in long. Burke has gone up, but Jones and Gillespie stay back. Be a little surprised if this goes in long.
Yeah, this is going short.
Fevrier offers himself short. Clark, though, does throw it into Kelman. It's a good throw as well. Kelman couldn't control it. Drops out to Doherty, who takes a shot. Didn't get enough power on it. It runs through to Pender.
Yeah, I like that, though. I like the way that was constructed. Left a big space around the penalty spot. One bounce into Kelman's feet. Doherty, you could just see it was on his weaker side. He was winding up. Didn't quite get the strike he wanted. But I like that setup from that throw-in.
Clark this time gets a good header back. I say good header, gets enough of a header back from the crossfield ball. Yeah. Back to Kaminski, who stops it from going behind for a corner.
Well, he's had the one mistake already on the back header that led to the corner for the goal. That one managed to keep in.
Up to Fevrier. Gets challenged, but Doherty will pick it up for Charlton. Goes back to Kaminski again. Send this forward. Again down the right-hand side. This time Fevrier and Clark are going for it. Clark gets a touch, a little heavy, and it allows Slater to take it off his toes. Back to Egan. Slater once more in the Hull half. Crook makes the run ahead of him. Slater keeps it. Going to go left now to Kumes. Kumes picks it up in the area. Ball back across. Needs Jones with the interception to put it away for the corner.
Yeah, I mean, the only good thing is they didn't keep up with play. So they did only have one inside the 6-yard box, two running in late at the edge of the box. But it was very good defending from Jones. Clark just caught out with the diagonal over his shoulder.
80 minutes gone. Corner to Hull City in front of the scoreboard. Swung in under the crossbar again. Clark with something on it, goes backwards. Gillespie clears it away. Lundstrom for Hull City. Campbell comes across. Cross comes in, Chambers blocks it away, and then Campbell completes it. Straight to Malumi, though. Malumi into the penalty area, ball back across. Cody gets it away, and it'll be another corner to Hull. McBurney 1-2 with Malumi. Released him into the edge of the 6-yard box. Kelman has stayed down.
Yeah, I think he's raced his run as well. I mean, he has worked his socks off as a lone striker today. Off the shoulder, scored that incredible goal, and I'd be very surprised if we don't see him come off here.
Well, Liebern will offer height for defensive opportunities from set pieces.
Yeah,
we'll see if that is the option.
I think Dykes is probably better aerially.
Good point.
For that, yeah.
Could be a double sub, to be fair, in that respect. You've said about Jaden Fevrier also struggling, it's not the right word, but certainly feeling the effects of a big shift here this afternoon. So situations for Nathan Jones and his team to deal with on the sideline. 20,671 is the crowd.
Thank you for your support today and all season.
And in the sunshine,
I have to say,
Alex Faithful desperate for this 8.5 minutes or so to disappear quickly.
Yeah, but there was a rallying cry sent out yesterday, and I think the fans have responded magnificently. The covered end's been in full voice, and there was a brilliant atmosphere change when Fevrier found the bottom corner. I love seeing the covered end like that. Honestly, that does get the hairs on your back of your neck up when you see them all up, singing, clapping.
Well, you were right, Brownie. Will be Lyndon Dykes coming on. Charlie Kelman will come off. Outstanding goal from Charlie Kelman to set the ball rolling here this afternoon. With a real shift in as well. Lyndon Dykes on with...
Has he always been that bald?
No, I think he's had a trim.
It's a bit severe, that one.
World Cup trim, that one. Corner in front of the security box and the Jimmy Seed stand for Hull. Sends it in near post. Oh, Gillespie just gets there. Important header that. Chambers with a touch. Drilled back in by Bellumi. Dykes with the block. It'll be another corner. Is it a throw corner? Can't tell in this corner from this angle. It's a throw.
I think it's a throw. I mean, if I'm doing the throw motion,
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the game.
Got a fair chance it's going to be a throw.
Just thought you were ordering another pint. Bellumi. Short free kick to Lundstrom now. Gets the ball in. McBurney's there battling. Gillespie clears it away. It'll be another throw in.
Listen, you just need all hands on deck here. Just make sure that, you know, we try and get first contact, but you've got to try and read where it's going to go and get something on the second.
Kaminski comes, gets a punch on it, goes backwards, and a complete miss kick from McNair. Bails Charlton out. Looked like he had to score, missed it completely. Charlton clear it away, but Hull have it back. Lundstrom in his own half. Out to the right-hand side is Crooks. Crooks, ball in the channel. Gillespie comes across, clears it away. Dykes will look for it, but Lundstrom gets there first. Campbell with a little push. And the referees ignore most of the game, but he seed that one. And Crooks went down. Hull City have a free kick.
Yeah, and that was a big let-off just in the replay. And for once, Kaminski doesn't make good contact with the ball as it comes into his penalty area. He punches it into the path of McNair, level with the back post, 7 yards out on the full volley, and he just cuts underneath the ball and it spins up into the air and we clear. But he should really find the back of the net with that. It's a big let-off.
Coyle with the free kick, just inside the Charlton half. Sends it across towards the penalty area. Gillespie, Burke is there though. Jump, heads it away. Slater will pick it up for Hull. Out to the left is Kumas. Ball in. Cleared away by Clark. Straight out to Lundstrom. Out to the right is Bellumi. Bellumi take on Campbell. Coyle went on the overlap. He's ignored. Still Bellumi. Back across. Slater with a shot blocked away. And Dykes completes the clearance. Bellumi tracks back to pick it up. No Charlton player venturing forward as Lundstrom brings it to the right-hand side. 1-2 with Crooks. Still Lundstrom holding the ball. Then going left to McNair. Coyle out to the right-hand side. Heavy touch, forces him backwards to Lundstrom. McNair once more. Nobody from in a red shirt pressing. Holding station outside the penalty area. Lundstrom again, out to Coyle. Coyle once more, back to Lundstrom. Swung across, all the way across the box, cleared away by Gillespie. Slater, Charlton fans urging Charlton out.
Well, I don't know why they're leaving Fevrier on, I've got to be honest with you.
Slater picks it up in the centre circle. Across to the right is Lundstrom, bringing it forward, Lundstrom. Again, Coyle an option to the right. Coyle this time swings it in, headed away. Yeah, throw in, hit by the corner flag, which Bellumi is coming across to take. 3.5 minutes of normal time remaining.
Okay.
Bellumi sends it in. Jones with the header away. Campbell completes the second header away. Slater will pick it up for Hull. Out to Coyle. Coyle launches it into the box. Kaminski grabs it underneath the crossbar. And in answer to your question, I think we've made our 3 changes.
He's absolutely right. Yeah, I've misjudged. I forgot about Sinchenje early in the game.
Yep. Lovely clearance out by Kaminski. Dykes up against Slater, just nudges him out of the way into the penalty area. Dykes with a shot! Oh, saved away by Pandor for a Charlton corner. Outstanding by Kaminski and Dykes to spot the opportunity. And Slater was in no way getting to that ahead of Lyndon Dykes. And the instant shot from the striker needed to be turned away by Pandor. And Charlton have the corner.
Yeah, well, it's a brilliant take again.
And I suspect Fevrier will take a number 177 and a 54 to try and get across to this corner flag.
But again, it's an example of the best form of defence is attack. And not only was it a fantastic take from Kaminski, but I love the way Dykes manoeuvred his defensive opposite player out of the way there. It's an excellent effort as well. Shot across the keeper, good save from Pandor.
Short corner to Campbell. Fevrier again. Now Campbell once more. Brings it across to Reece Campbell. Wants Cody. Back out to Fevrier as Charlton keep possession. Fevrier back inside to Therese Campbell. Fevrier sees Campbell go on the outside. Lovely footwork from Campbell. Trying to go back to Fevrier now. Gets a foot in. Now Campbell into the penalty area. It'll be another corner. Yeah. Great work between Jaden Fevrier and Therese Campbell.
And this is exactly where you want to see out the game. In the opposition half, keeping possession. Making sure there are options to the player in possession. Come alive.
Short corner again. Campbell holding the ball up. Tees up Fevrier once more. Fevrier shaped across. Instead gives it to Doherty. Edge of the area. Doherty takes a shot. Blocked away. Now Cody having to get there before Crooks can't. But Burke, good foot in. And it runs to Balumi. Burke drags him back. We're hearing there might be 6 minutes of added time here as Doherty is feeling the effects of that shot, I think.
Listen, he's been everywhere again. Look, you know when Doc's struggling, he can't
come off because we made the subs again.
Forgot about Sinchenko like I did. But look, you know when he's struggling that there's been an effort made. When your captain who's full of stamina, 90-minute running, and he can't quite limp to the end.
I think it's his groin he's pointing to. It's a free kick from Hull, taken short. Out to Balumi now. Balumi trying to release Coyle on the right-hand side. He does so. Drilled across, and he's sailed that way over the penalty area, over Kumas, and out for a Charlton throw on the right.
Yep.
Doherty just explaining to his teammates that he can't run.
Yeah, so we leave him up front. What I would say is you look at Coyle, he's turned and sprinted back into the right back spot, get away from those Hull City fans as quickly as possible. His delivery second half has been left wanting. He's let us off on the hook on several occasions with poor deliveries into the box. But you just got to adjust for Doc. Fevrier there, I don't care. Just get him out of the way, get him up the pitch, but certainly don't leave him behind the ball. Campbell tuck inside. There's loads of ways you can protect this area.
No, Doherty's gone down. Needs attention to the injury, and personally, as we said with Godden on Wednesday, just might be better for the skipper to go off. It is 6 minutes of added time.
6 minutes added time.
Which will start on the restart rather than from now. Just a reminder, we just need a point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. So you can get as nervous as you like.
One in now.
Yeah, they've got to score twice, and you know, the second goal was a huge relief. Not going to lie, you've got to ask Hull to go and get 3 for us not to stay up, and that would have been a big ask. But yeah, what a time to score twice at the Valley. First time since I think it's October. I don't know the exact stats. Sheffield Wednesday at home. Thank you, Gregor. You're always good for a stat. and a beer. Yeah.
Dan was saying praise.
Yeah. Praise only going one way today, let me tell you. Cheers.
Well, the skipper has received treatment. He's on the sideline getting a water. He'll probably come back on. Very unlikely to be that effective as Clark takes the throw. Down the line it goes. Dykes with the header on. Just getting distance on that header. Sends Kumas backwards so as he can go back to take the throw. Throws it into Lundstrom. Deep in his own half. Nobody ahead of him though to stop him as he brings it forward. Hold up by the halfway line. Across to McNair. McNair out to his left. Joseph bringing it forward. And again, the crossfield ball sails over and out of play for a Charlton goal kick.
Yep. And Doc, for the first time in his career, is going to play centre forward.
Kaminski prepares to take this goal kick in the shade of the Jimmy Seed stand. Just over 3.5 minutes of added time remaining. Goal kick sent away, looking for Dykes. Bypasses him, but Fevrier picks it up for Charlton. Do a little Fevrier run into a corner. It's a lovely footwork from Jaden Fevrier, still in possession, super work. Dykes takes over. Outstanding from Jaden Fevrier. Cody for Charlton, trying to send Chambers on his way. Takes a deflection and away for a Charlton throw. 20 yards away from the corner flag, in front of the covered end. Referee just asking Charlton to come and take the throw quickly. Nobody taking any notice as Chambers eventually gets across there. Chambers. Throw towards Campbell, trying to control it. Therese Campbell. Dykes helps him out. Lyndon Dykes and Campbell combine. Still Campbell in the left-hand corner. And dragged down. Referee allowing play to go on. Still in that corner. Slater then gets it away for Hull. Now Lundstrom sends it forward, but Burney, little header left, is picked off by Gillespie. His ball forward, cut out by Coyle. Now Dykes in a retreating position, picks it up for Charlton. Back to Gillespie. Down the line, he sends it. Looking for Campbell. Coyle gets there first. Doherty still challenging, still getting a foot in and winning a throw-in. Connor Cody just helping Greg Doherty walk and sending him forward as the Valley is in full song. 2 minutes of added time remaining. Dykes flicks on the throw. It'll be a goal kick to Hull City. Ball out to McNair. Bringing it forward, McNair. Up to halfway. Out to Coyle. Coyle with Bellumi making a run ahead of him. Goes inside instead to Slater. Slater. To McNair once more. Ball down the line looking for Coyle. Away comes Chambers to clear it away for Charlton. Throw into Hull.
If there's a way you wanted to end the season at home at the Valley, this is probably it. If we can just see out.
McNair with the ball in. Great header away from Jones in front of McBurney. It'll be picked up by Kuma. Sends it back in. Burke this time with a clearance away. Lundstrom with the header up in the air. Doherty can't get there. Dykes does. Finds Fevrier. Can he release? Cody. Connor Cody with Coyle chasing him will just get there first. Oh, Connor Cody 10 years ago would have got there. Cleared away. Jones heads it back towards Cody, who will be offside, so lets it run through to the keeper.
It certainly wasn't two thoroughbreds at Ascot, was it? Let's be honest.
Coyle for Hull City on the right-hand side. 30 seconds of not added time remaining. Launches it to the Charlton penalty area. Jones comes out and heads it clear. Sends McNair backwards. All eyes on the referee as Lundstrom launches it forward. Campbell tracks it back. I think he gets something on it. It might be a corner. It is. In the dying seconds of the game as we hit the 96 minutes. Yeah. Just playing added time of added time.
He could have probably ducked it, but better be safe than sorry. Get everyone back inside that 6-yard box and just defend this last corner, and that should be your lot.
Hull City send Pandor, the goalkeeper, up. As the ball's launched low into the box. Well defended. And super work from Fevrier to bring it away for Charlton. Campbell wants it. Campbell wants it, but Fevrier still has it. Campbell trying to stay onside. Fevrier goes past his man Slater. Into the box. Oh, cleared away off the line by Crooks to stop Charlton getting a third, but it will be a corner.
Yeah, I thought he should have put Campbell in from deep in his own half. You wouldn't have caught Campbell and he would have had a free run right to goal, but that's a great way to end the game. Fevrier with a drive, 70 yards. And that has seen out the victory for Charlton for sure.
I think Jones has just got a booking for running down the line. I think he was encouraging Jaden Fevrier to pass. And Nathan Jones almost caught up with him on the sideline.
Yeah,
gets a booking.
I think the manager's got into the book.
Not that he cares.
Oh, he definitely won't care. And you should soak up this atmosphere because it could be a few months before we get back here.
The Valley's in full cry. Charlton keep it in the corner. There's the final whistle! The Addicts will be playing championship football next season. An outstanding victory here in South East London. Charlie Kelman got us underway with a stunning strike on 20 minutes. Hull City equalised just before half-time when Egan got his header across. after Kaminski had been held in the penalty area. But then Jayden Fevrier, who amongst the rest of the side has been outstanding this afternoon, got the second goal with an equally stunning strike on his left foot, cutting inside after 67 minutes. And then Charlton, to a man, saw it out, and the Addicts will remain in the Championship for next season. Stevie Brown.
Yeah, I think we saw a video from the manager yesterday asking for support from the crowd. Well, he got support off the pitch and on it today. There were some wonderful individual performances. We've seen 2 spectacular goals. We've seen 1 or 2 unbelievably good individual performances today. And I've got to be honest, at 1-1 with the time in the goal for Hull City, I thought we were going to be in for a bit of a torrid second 45. Credit to the players. I think the substitutions were crucial in the second half as well, getting Fevrier over on that right-hand side, bringing Chambers on to secure up the left wing-back spot was a very good move tactically. It led to Fevrier getting the second goal. And these are the scenes you want to see here week in, week out. And the job this season was to retain Championship status. And finally, with our first win in 8, we've managed to do that. It takes the pressure off next week. None of us wanted to go into next week requiring a point. It's immaterial what Oxford do. They are now relegated, I think, from the Championship, and will spend next year in League One. And what a day to pull out a result in that manner. The first time we scored twice since Sheffield Wednesday. The first time we've won at home since Birmingham in early March. And look at the scene, soak them up.
Valley Floyd Road rings out from around the valley as the celebrations begin. The sight to behold, the covered end, the Cubsy stand and the West End remain full as Charlton fans want to celebrate the moment.
Well, I guess the question now is how quickly we can get to work, knowing the division we're going to be in. There's a lot of work to do over the summer. It's going to require a little bit of support from the ownership again. It's going to require a big recruitment drive, I would imagine. You've got a lot of players going back to their parent clubs. I'm sure there's going to be a few ins and outs where we try and strengthen this squad to give us a little bit of a better opportunity to climb the league next season. I don't think staying in the league next year is going to be acceptable. It's going to be an improvement needs to be made. Now that we've kept our foot in this league, it's now can we take another stride forward through the door and get ourselves a bit higher up and threatening, well, it's down to 8th next year, isn't it? And can we threaten the top half of the league?
Well, the game called for big characters. The game called for a big performance. And Charlton providing it. Nerves, of course, both before and during. And it's likely that I won't be able to speak tomorrow, but I'm not particularly bothered. As every Charlton player stays on the pitch to just milk the atmosphere, milk the moment, and just reflect on the fact that we'll be playing in the Championship next season.
Yeah, something we failed to do last time, and that gives you a platform to build. There'll be some players, this will probably be their last time you see them in a Charlton shirt, but that's football. It moves on, and it moves on quick. You can't stand still. So I guess the rebuilding work, or the rebuilding job, starts today. There's a very manicured man in a very tidy suit entered the field of play. I don't know where he's popped in from, soaking up the sunshine.
Well, every Charlton player, and there's going to be an award. There's probably going to be some awards presented, Player of the Years, trophies, maybe even a tunnel jump or two. And I'm going to leave you in the hands of Greg Stubley to be able to bring that to you. I've got a small matter of picking up my sister from the airport who's coming over. And so with that, just remains for me to say thank you. I'll leave Greg to finish proceedings here at the Valley this afternoon as Charlton win and stay in the Championship.
Well, how about that, Charlton fans? What an afternoon here in SE7, and my thank you goes to Terry Smith. Brilliant commentary at the end there. Tell Fevrier with that winning goal. Brilliant, great to see the like. We talked about it for a number of matches this season, but players like Greg Doherty at the end, one leg pretty much, and he's still getting involved in challenges, still trying to win headers. It's a symbol of this team, really, that while we have seen a lack of quality, don't get me wrong, for a majority of this season, cannot question that desire and work rate. And that's one of the reasons why we're staying in the Championship this season. You're not missing anything here on Charlton TV, just currently players being greeted by their families on the pitch. We will have the presentations for the end of season Player of the Year awards. I think the winner's probably going to be quite obvious, to be honest. But interesting to see come second and third. So, Brown, your final three. I'd like to hear this.
I don't know about the final three, but at the start of the season, we got asked, didn't we, on the multi.
Here we go.
What? I'm just saying I'm quite nervous because I think I've got a chance.
Here we go.
I went Fuller, Jones, Fuller young player, Jones player of the season.
What about second, third?
So once again, here comes the team, please.
Look, I mean, there is a personal preference, isn't there, to all these decisions, but I would probably, look, you're asking me as a bloke that I think Doc's given everything every week. You know, there has been a lack of consistency. Let's be brutally honest about the season. There's been a lack of consistency in a lot of the individual performances. Sonny Carey being top scorer, you know, he'll probably think he's in with a chance of getting in the top three. But if you're looking at players that have done it for the majority of the season, week in, week out, and you've been able to rely on them most weeks, Doc's got to be in there for consistency, but he probably won't be. But Jones will pick it up.
Yeah, my prediction, Lloyd Jones number one, Mari Bell maybe number two.
He's had his injury issues, been out the side a few times, but good consistent performer when he's been in and makes a difference. That's a very good shout.
And then Sonny Carey 3 is that.
Ramsey, would he be in with a shout?
Maybe. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Young player, I think, yeah, maybe Evie Fuller is probably the obvious shout. Keenan Goff has also had minutes in the Charlton first team this year.
Yeah, Keenan's done well this year. I think it's been a good year for Keenan. If anything, I'd like to have seen Keenan in a bit more, is the truth. I think you're putting him in at Norwich away, Boxing Day, did a good job. You put him up at Middlesbrough away when we were expected to get absolutely nothing, did a great job. Chelsea in the cup game, couldn't expect too much, but did all right. You know, I'd like to see him step up next year. If we're not going to have him in the squad next year, you've got to get him league football. Simple as that. And I think the same with Fuller. If you're not going to utilise him and put him in the squad and develop him here, you've got to get him out on loan at a League One, League Two side. They've got to develop away from here if you're not going to put him in the team.
That's a question for you. Next weekend, do you use that game as an opportunity to see how they do?
I think you can now. Yeah, absolutely. The problem I have now, though, Greg, is you're asking them to do things from a level of fitness that's probably not where it needs to be. But yeah, I'd get them down there. I'd get them playing. I'd put them in the team. You know, you know, we're safe. If you can't do it now, then it kind of doesn't make sense. But though you've got to start thinking about the players that we've got here that we need to develop. You know, if you can develop one or two academy players into a championship side that become regulars, the base level now in terms of value it starts at millions, and we've got to concentrate on that a little bit. I think, you know, we've had a couple out on loan this year that have done well. Kanu's done incredibly well. Obviously, Mbik's had his issue with the injury, and sorry, just getting pushed out the way. You know, we've had Mbik out who was doing brilliant up until the injury. You know, so the loan signings have worked for one. Sinway's been out at Wimbledon, obviously. You know, and we've got to keep an eye on that. We've got to make sure our academy players continue to get development football. If it's not here, if we're not developing in the first team, it has to be on loan. So yeah, I would certainly have any players that we can get minutes next week, like Keenan, like Fuller. I would do so.
Well, Charlton players are just going to go on a lap of honour. Already seen the upbeats today. Do theirs. Now it's time for Charlton. To do theirs. Owners are in town today as well. They will Brenner below us in the West Stand. There's certain someone tuning in from Canada as well. Good afternoon, Gavin.
Who?
Is Gavin in Canada today?
No,
he's not. He's on holiday, isn't he?
Right, listen, I've had some stupid pictures come through. People sunning themselves all over the world.
Well, I'm sure there's been another beer or two ordered.
We're flogging our guts out again, Greg. Hey, tell. Get some abusive text through the commentary. Standard week for us.
Oh dear me. Yeah, Charlton have certainly made us have all the emotions this season. I'd like to get your opinion on your favourite moment of this season or favourite match.
Yeah, I've got memory like a sieve, haven't I? You know I'm no good at this sort of stuff. Right, this one goes up there. I tell you what I enjoyed today. I've already texted a couple of people that have been in the covered end. That was superb today.
Yeah.
Like Nathan called for support in the stands and he got it and some today. It requires a performance for them to be able to do what they did today, and he got that response as well from the players. Right, but I haven't seen that kind of response from a second goal for a long, long time, and it does make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And there's like you say to people, the valley is incredible when it's full and you're on an upward curve, and you're getting the atmosphere inside this stadium. It you know, because it's at our club, it means an awful lot. But they've turned up in numbers today and they've sung their hearts out. Even when Hull were on the front foot and it went 1-1 and they were dominating the first 15-20 minutes second half, the drummer was drumming. They were still trying to create an atmosphere. But that second goal changed everything.
Yeah, I actually completely agree. Today was a special day. I had a sense coming here there was something about today that was different to past weeks. I don't know if that was just hope, but it certainly felt a little bit different today. But yeah, something like that. But it certainly felt good about today. I also think we've actually had some of our better moments this season away from home.
Yeah.
I think the Middlesbrough win was fantastic. We made so many changes, had a weaker back three, if you want to call it that, and a fantastic performance, keeping a clean sheet away from home against, at the time, the most informed team in the division, bar Southampton. And full credit to that team, and that was such a valuable 3 points with Connor Cody's winner. Also think about the very first game of the season here against Watford, late Harvey Nibbs winner. It was highly enjoyable. There have been some good moments, but certainly last few months there have been a little bit less of that, but we know what's expected and what we need to do next season. One question I would like to ask you, Brandon, from a recruitment point of view, going into the summer. Now, obviously, now we know our destiny. I mean, I imagine the recruitment has been started a long time ago in terms of looking at next season, but what are your kind of hopes for in terms of what Charlton can do in the transfer window in the summer? What kind of players are you hoping they could bring?
Yeah, I personally think we've got a lot of work to do to strengthen across the board. You know, I don't think you have a season like this season. Look, you've said before the start of the game, the front line, we don't score enough goals, but it's not just about, and I said, it's not just about strikers. This is about how we set up. Do we change systems for next year? Do we look at a back four? You know, I don't think it's any secret that we do need to strengthen across the front line with strikers, but we do need to back up with a bit of creativity in midfield as well. I'd look at somebody a lot more creative in the 10 role so that we have the ability to change based on the opposition. Sometimes you do need just pure physicality and a runner. Sometimes you need creativity. Sometimes you need both and one sitter. But you've got to give yourself options across the board.
Well, those are the sounds of Charlotte Richardson. You can hear he's on the pitch. She's about to present the awards. Community Champion of the Year, first of all. Jason Morgan's on the pitch.
I better give him a little step ladder if he's giving out those awards. He's never going to be able to see above that table.
It's Charlie Kelman.
And Charlie Kelman is the Community Player of the Year. What a day he's had. Fantastic opening goal. Hopefully he's not too injured at the end there. They're trying to locate Charlie. He's in the middle of a...
Well, I don't think he can quite believe it.
He's still milking the applause. He's too busy talking to someone. He doesn't realise there's an actual award, maybe.
Well, I don't think he was expecting his name to be read out. It's the brutal truth of that.
Community champion. Jason Morgan with the presentation. We believe there's actually no live coverage of this because we were taking our cameras to Sky, so you have to bear with us.
There is no way he knew he was doing an award today. Look how scruffy that gentleman is. Jason Morgan's normally...
I think you're smart.
I am smart today, Gregor. Yeah.
Owners in town?
A smart... No, it's got nothing to do with the owner. No. And I don't think they are, actually. However, that's as scruffy as I've seen Jace.
Yeah. I look forward to speaking to him later to discuss exactly that.
He'll be gutted as well.
Your young Valley Goal Player of the Year is Ibby Fuller.
That's one
Young Valley Goal Player
in the bag.
Ibby Fuller.
One in the bag.
Steve Brown is using me as a punch bag.
I would like that clip replayed. Go back July.
You know what should be replayed? Our conversation.
No, because you're twisting this a bit.
We don't know what we're going to say.
Yeah, you're going to be at the Norwich thing.
False prediction of the year, Steve Brown, but Norwich City are going down.
No.
They're done for.
I don't think I've ever used those words.
What's that, Brownie? They're ninth. Congratulations, Ibby Fuller.
And he deserves it. And
what a talent he is.
Well, and I think there's a lot more to come, and we've got to be really careful. Passing over the award.
There you go.
Yeah. So I was wrong. So I'm glad I come smart.
Lloyd Jones gets the first of, we presume, a few trophies this afternoon. Players player. Always the one. I think the players want to win, isn't it? The players player.
I didn't care. Any kind of medal. Anything.
Most improved.
Yeah, whatever.
Cast your votes. You had your say, and it's my pleasure to announce that Mark Boyan and Paul Elliott are going to be presenting this award. We've got a final three. Your third choice for the Player of the Year awards for 2025-26 is Tyrese Campbell.
Player of the Year, third place. Tyrese Campbell is the decision from the Charlton fans. Player who stepped up to the Championship for the first time in his career. He's shown a lot of promise and someone that we hope will continue to grow. Tyrese Campbell, congratulations to you, third in the Player of the Year. So I presume second's coming up. It's a little bit hard to hear, Charlotte, from where we are. So
2025-26 Player of the Year, Sonny Carey.
Runner-up is Sonny Carey. 8 goals his debut season this year for Charlton from midfield. A player that signed on a free from Blackpool. I think many expected to kind of be a bit of a squad player, especially at the start of the season, was most valuable player. Slightly tailed off towards the end, but in his credit, he has had a very, very good season in the first season, and another player that I look forward to seeing how he can develop. He's still only, I think, 24, 25, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's a very specific player as well. You know, he comes with energy, pace, but he's got to learn to be better in possession of the ball. He's got to learn to get his head up a bit quicker and see passes forward a little bit quicker. Technically, you know, he learns to need to play first-time balls around the corner, maybe.
And there you are. Charlton fans, Player of the Year 2025-2026. It's Lloyd Jones. And I don't think anyone will disagree with that. He stepped up for sure from League One. He had a fantastic season last season. He's played in every game for Charlton this season. Middlesbrough only played for maybe 2 minutes, but it still counts on the stat sheet. He's someone that has really, really developed here. Got better and better, outstanding in that second half against Ollie McBurney, who's a really good striker at this level. And Lloyd Jones is someone that's just getting better and better and better. Congratulations to him, congratulations to everyone else who has won an award this afternoon. We'll wait and see if there's going to be any... Yep, Nathan Jones is going to have a little chat. And we'll let you play that, we'll play that so you can hear that. So I'm going to stay quiet as we hear from Nathan Jones.
I'll try and keep this as short as I can. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the players. I think you all have to understand how quickly we've come. I remember being here, and I think last game of the season was in Burton now being here 2 years ago, and we'd survived to stay up in League One. And we changed the culture, changed the environment, recruited well, recruited proper players and people, staff, got backing from the board, and we're a proper football club. Last year, obviously, we had a wonderful year. We had a tough time. You know, we lost here to Crawley. And I don't think there's a single human being, apart from me, thought that I'd be standing here a year and a half later. But that's football. Then obviously we did. We had a great day at Wembley, and that led into this league. Now this league is a monster. Like, do not underestimate this league. This used to be the old Premier League. And we've competed week in, week out. Yeah, we lack certain stuff, but this group of players have done you proud. This group of players have worked hard. Are we where we want to be? No. But we're on a journey. And sometimes you take steps. Sometimes you get punched on the nose, you've got to come back. You've got to keep having disappointments, but you keep moving forward. And this group moves forward. And you should be proud of this group. Secondly, I'd like to thank the families because they make sacrifices. I demand from them. I'm a lunatic at times. And, no, a nice one. But I demand from them. And I ask them to sacrifice and have to buy into stuff. And sometimes we have arguments. Sometimes it's heated. But they trust me. And that's all you can ask as a manager. But they're behind them. As you see today, they've got families, they've got kids, they've got loved ones that sacrifice for them. And they should be thanked. I couldn't do that without my family. I have a little girl that doesn't see her dad for 10 days at a time. To be honest, I think she sees the Bournemouth manager more than she sees me. And my family sacrifice, and I'd like to thank them personally because I know what they have to go through, the people that care about me. I'd like to thank the board, because because they backed me, their understanding. There was times in a crazy world of football where they could have gone a different path. I think that's gone. No, it's back. Give a special thank you to Jim Rodwell. Most of the time, as you can see by the look he has a persona which is basically full of shit. But someone right by my side, I couldn't ask for better. Someone who understands it, someone who's been there, right at the tunnel, every single game. And I love him for that. He's got the club at heart, he wants to do well, and he's been just invaluable to me. Then I'd like to thank the owners. I mean, times it's been tough, but they've backed it, they've got the club at heart. These are proper people. I know you've been through some tough times, but these are proper people now. And lastly, I'd like to thank you lot, you hear that? We've had a good ride. It's been tough at times, but you've stayed with it. People question stuff that we do, question what we do, but we've fulfilled what we wanted, and you have been there, right from the start. Those who bought in on that journey, this is where we are, and we are only on a journey. This isn't the destination, this is the journey. That's all that's left to say is, one more game left. Big game for me. I love going there. Tonight, because this is the second phase of what we wanted to do. First phase, get out of League One. Second phase, consolidate, be competitive. Now we're on the journey. Now we're on the journey!
Well, there you are. There was Nathan Jones. We apologise for any bad language you may have heard. We have to do that legally. Surprisingly, the language wasn't out of my co-friend, Mr. Smith, for a change. But we'll leave it there on Charlton TV as Nathan Jones does his final fist pumps in front of the Valley crowd for the 2025-2026 season. Of course, we've still got one game to go before the end of the season away at Swansea City. If you are still listening here on Charlton TV, we thank you again. We've still got one more to go, one more to enjoy. We enjoy stress-free, which is a rarity these days, it has to be said. But hopefully you've had a cracking afternoon here on Charlton TV. We certainly have. We're going to enjoy ourselves, and we hope you do too. My thanks go to Tel, as always. My friend, it's been a pleasure, and we look forward to celebrating one final time next week. And my other friend, who's, as always, busy talking, in Mr. Brown. Brownie's not here next week. He's actually away on a business trip, would you believe, to South Africa. But my thanks go to Brownie. I'm sure he'll thank all of you too in due course if he hasn't done gas bagging, as always. But whatever you do this afternoon, we hope you have a fantastic, wonderful and brilliant Saturday. And we'll see you again for Swansea next weekend. Good night, everyone. Enjoy your day.